Song Yunxiang was the weakest student in his entire academy. Everyone mocked him because he could only last 3 minutes in training, but he never gave up. Even with his terrible stats, he spent 60 long years fighting on the battlefield, pushing forward with the last of his strength, until the day he finally fell. But death wasn't the end. He opened his eyes and found himself back in the academy, 60 years in the past, still with the same low attributes. But this time, he had something no one else had: 60 years of battle experience and his system. With this second chance, he's determined to rise from the weakest to the most powerful human in the world. And on his journey, he meets many beautiful and powerful women. But no spoilers if they fall for him or not. You'll have to watch the story to find out. In the year 1390 of the northern continent, something terrible was happening in the city of Xuanwu, the last safe place for people. Monsters were roaming the streets, grabbing folks and trying to consume them. Lifeless figures were hanging from the monster's claws. The monster called Gourmet was enormous, like something from old Chinese stories, and it was always angry. It had an incredible stomach that could swallow things bigger than itself. It gulped down a captured man without a second thought. People saw the monster coming, became terrified, and started running away, all trying to get clear of Gourmet. The monster started smashing everything around, looking for more people. While running, a small child stumbled and started calling for his mom's help. The woman turned and saw her child had fallen and looked truly scared. The mother rushed over to pick up her son so they could escape the monsters closing in. The boy began to cry. The huge monster Gourmet spotted the mother and son trying to avoid him, then went right after them. The monster reached out with its giant paw, attempting to grab them. The mother hugged her son tightly out of fear and started calling for assistance, but the monster still wanted to seize them. The woman looked at the monster in horror, tears filling her eyes as she kept pleading for safety for her and her son. The monster tried to grab the mother and child with its huge hand. Suddenly, a powerful sword flew right at the monster, aiming to strike it. Behind the monster's form, a strong blast came from the sword that had flown in. The monster Gourmet let go of the woman and child. Other monsters hearing the blast were shocked by what was happening and headed toward the center of it all. Many monsters faced unknown attacks that stopped them, then sent them to another world using these swords. The humans were able to finish off a number of the giant Gourmet monsters that were driven by hunger. The master of the swords told them to return to him. The Dugaki swords followed their master's command. A bunch of swords started going back to the man in the robot suit who was floating in the air. The woman and her son thanked the man who had rescued them. The boy pointed out to his mother that it was the general of the Star Soul. All the people were happy that Star Soul General Dong Yuan had come to their aid and was ready to take on the monsters. The old man in the robot body received a system message that his spiritual power was too low. This was the Star Soul Master Song Yunxiang. Yunxiang heard the warning and put a pill in his mouth. He was the last human warrior who could control the Star Soul General, relying on his final bit of strength. He had been restoring soul power for decades. He alone protected the last group of people who remained in the fortress to survive in this difficult world. Yunxiang noticed the monster opened its mouth and started glowing brightly, preparing to launch an attack. People asked for help. None of them wanted to be removed. When they saw the monster, they knew running away was pointless. Yunxiang managed to use the Dugaki sword defense barrier just in time to shield the people from the monster's attack. The monsters kept going after the last warrior of humanity. A huge half-circle shape formed. There was a massive explosion, and a large plume of smoke from the blast went up into the sky. The humans realized the Star Soul had blocked all the attacks, and they were able to stay safe. After that, the monster's attack was incredibly powerful, and Yunxiang's mechanical body couldn't move for a moment because it was overloaded. The old man knew he needed to draw the monsters away from the humans. Yunxiang ordered Star Soul General Dong Yuan to break apart. The huge metal robot's mechanical body disappeared from the sight of the people around. Yunxiang asked the Star-Lord system to give him a copy of the Star Soul. His body started to glow again, as people shouted for Yunxiang to try and protect them because he was their last hope. The old man's body began to lower into the metal capsule to get ready for summoning the Star Soul. The magic capsule fully closed, sealing the old man's body inside. A new mechanical robot body formed and was controlled by Yunxiang. Now he was using the Star Soul of a servant of the people and was ready to continue the conflict with the monster Gourmet. Star Soul General Cao Ren's mechanical body began to change the color of the star. The boy pointed out that the color of the Star Soul was Cheng Ying, which surprised him a lot. Star Soul General Cao Ren's speed with this soul was immense. This mechanical suit could fly and turn into a phoenix form. Yunxiang used the transformation move on this mechanical suit, taking the shape of a phoenix. The Star Phoenix showed up in front of everyone in the county. Yunxiang was ready to fight in his new form, going after the monsters. Yunxiang used the burning wings of light move and managed to overpower some of the monsters floating in the air. The monster tried to grab the mechanical warrior with tentacles it shot from its mouth. Yunxiang got a warning that a dangerous attack was coming from the 20-hour direction. The Star Soul Lord system said that a mysterious power he had found by chance in the ruins of an ancient civilization decades ago let him copy Star Soul generals and other things. This system helped Yunxiang get out of difficult spots. Thanks to the Star-Lord system's abilities and the generals he put together, Yunxiang had escaped tough situations many times. The old man saw he couldn't break free from the monster's tentacles, so he used the dispersal of his mechanical suit. The monsters noticed the mechanical suit starting to fade from their tentacles. They didn't know what to do. Huge tentacles kept sticking out from the monster's big mouth. Yunxiang used the Star Soul formation. Yunxiang decided to copy Star Soul General Bai Qi this time. After that, the old man used the Star Color again. Star Soul General Bai Qi was a balanced Star Soul General with good strength and attack speed. Yunxiang tried to go after the monsters using General Bai Qi's new mechanical frame. Even the copied systems of the Star Soul Generals worked just like the originals, but Yunxiang's Star Soul veins were harmed when he was young, putting him in constant danger. So his training was stuck at the Saint stage, and he couldn't move forward. Yunxiang switched weapons using dual wind swords. He could only use 20% of the star-colored power from the copied Star Soul Generals. Unexpectedly, the monsters grabbed Yunxiang's mechanical suit with their tentacles again. The monsters tried to hit him with their powerful laser beam, hoping to overpower the man. A strong column of smoke rose from the monster's attack on the mechanical suit. After that, 2 beams shot out at the monsters, which Yunxiang fired. Yunxiang told the system to check the area for any survivors who hadn't left yet. The system scanned and said there were no signs of human life within a 30-meter radius. Yunxiang was happy with that news. He used a copy of General Ao Bing's Star Soul General, telling the system to change the star color. The old man used a type of star under the dragon's throat. His mechanical suit changed shape. Star Soul General Ao Bing could do powerful large-scale attacks that crushed even dragons. A lot of laser beams started hitting the monsters on the ground. They didn't expect such a strong attack. Nebula was rebooting his mental strength in Yunxiang's starsuit, falling down. Yunxiang used a scattering move, dropping to the ground. He applied the Star Soul building technique. The look of Yunxiang's mechanical body changed. Everything around got covered in a bunch of dust. Yunxiang used the Star Soul General Lubu's Star Soul suit with top combat power. Yunxiang's mental strength was used up again. He took a pill. After that, the old man changed the color of Lubu's soul again. He was ready for more fighting. Along with the Star-Lord system, Yunxiang had also gotten information about a lost ancient civilization. The people who once ruled this planet built a civilization with the highest technology. They sent up billions of artificial satellites from this planet, creating a star network. Ancient, endless energy sources came through this network. The people back then figured out ways to turn energy into matter, and the technology of printing space with the star network. Then the people gained huge power that filled their world. The ancient creators weren't happy with that. Their excessive desire led them to try for power even over time and space. After those actions, a major disaster happened that wiped out all civilization. After tens of thousands of years, the ancient civilization was forgotten by this world. The wind and sea split the earth into 5 continents. Yunxiang was born in the eastern continent, in the country of Tiandu. Unlike the folks in the northern continent who hid behind their defense walls, Star Soul Masters of the eastern continent used Star Soul Generals to take on the monsters that show up in the area. Years of fighting between kingdoms in the eastern continent had weakened them a lot. After that, the people living there were taken out one by waves of monsters. After a time, Tiandu fell. The eastern continent was gone. Yunxiang somehow got away. After decades of traveling, he was in despair. The rifts showed up more often, and the monsters coming from them got stronger. So Yunxiang hit his limit, falling to the ground. Yunxiang used the Star Soul formation again. The old man got another warning that mental strength was low. Reaching into his pocket, the old man saw the soul restoration pills were gone. Meanwhile, the monster released a powerful attack at Yunxiang. Yunxiang tried to block and hold off the monster's attack. His mechanical body started spinning. There was a huge blast that shook the empty neighborhood. The monsters grabbed the Star General with their tentacles again, trying to hold him down. Yunxiang felt the strong monster hit his body. Grabbing the metal body, the monster started lifting it into the air. The old man quickly used the Star Soul dispersal move. After that, Yunxiang applied for Dongyan's Star Soul build. Breaking free from the tentacles, the old man used Dugaki's swords that rushed at the monsters. Yunxiang managed to hit a certain number of monsters near him. Falling to the ground, Yunxiang tried to change the star's soul color. The system said there were multiple space fluctuations. A huge number of enemies were coming his way. The system told Yunxiang to leave the area before the countdown ended, or he might not make it. Hearing this, the old man was shocked. A bunch of lightning bolts struck the area Yunxiang was in. After that, holes started forming in space, and monsters began coming out. A ton of monsters headed toward Yunxiang who hadn't left the set area. A system countdown was going on. Lots of people ran into the ship. They were told not to panic and to board in an orderly way, saying everyone could leave. The ship was full. The commander asked for permission to take off, followed by the number 5 ship. The system said the user missed the best time to leave the area. Yunxiang realized there was an enormous number of monsters. Thinking the Star-Lord system was no help in this spot, the system said it was looking for new ways to get out. The system found several ships that had drawn the enemy's attention. Yunxiang got advice from the system to direct the monsters toward these leaving ships and exit the battle zone while the monsters were busy going after the ships. The old man saw in the distance of the leaving ship a child with his mother, who looked at him with pity and regret. Yunxiang didn't understand how the system could suggest directing the monsters at the fleeing people. Looking at the ships, Yunxiang was not okay with using them as a decoy to escape alone. Yunxiang told the system he couldn't do that because he had fought by himself for so many years and was tired of it. He knew that, as long as the human race still had a spark of hope, it would light up again sooner or later. The old man decided to do something helpful in the end, because he was given the future to protect. The system said the user was burning life force to restore mental strength. The system warned that the user's actions put his own life at risk, and the system decided to take extreme steps. Yunxiang began sending out multiple blasts against the system, making his metal suit heat up. Many sent out attacks started hitting the monsters in range. The attacks went right through the bodies of the monsters who couldn't hold them off. A huge number of monsters were finished by this move that Yunxiang used. There was a powerful explosion where Yunxiang was. A huge column of smoke rose into the sky. An unknown person called out to Yunxiang. He didn't understand how it could be calling him. The unknown person asked him to wake up. Suddenly the guy woke up in a room he didn't remember. The boy opened his sleepy eyes, figuring out what had happened to him before. When he got up, he didn't get what was going on because he was sure he had gone down with the enemy in that battle. The guy noticed something odd about him and scratched the back of his head. Suddenly what he saw in front of him clicked. The guy saw himself in the mirror. The uniform of the Academy of Military Technology that he wore looked familiar to him. Yunxiang realized he was 18 years old again, based on his reflection in the mirror across from him. Looking at the calendar that showed the year 1330, the guy realized this was Tiandu on the eastern continent. He figured out he had gone back 60 years. Yuanding City was a medium-sized city located in the border area of southern Tiandu, believed to have been started 400 years ago by the first director of the Military Technology Academy. The Academy of Military Technology is one of the 3 places of higher learning in the Tiandu Kingdom for training Star Soul Masters. In the stadium of the Military Technology Academy, 2 students, number 277th grade, against number 3 10th grade, were fighting. Guys in mechanical suits clashed in the stadium and were watched by the rest of the students. Watching the fight between the Star Soul generals, the guy, Lu Yan, saw the academy students clash up close for the first time. Lu Yan was 18 years old and a Star Soul Master at the initial step of the yellow rank. One of the students shielded himself from the enemy's incoming attack. The second student swung his sword, saying his opponent wouldn't just be able to get away from him. The shoulders of one mechanical machine shot out a bunch of explosives at the opponent. The second student, trying to dodge the sword attack, countered by saying the fun was over and told him to watch his froggy leap as he avoided the enemy's shots. The student tried to strike his opponent, confident that he couldn't dodge. While watching, the student used a great move on his opponent called the Great Shattering Vortex. Indeed, the machine began to spin quickly, using the Great Shattering Vortex move. There was a loud popping sound in the arena. The academy students noticed Lu Yan, who wasn't wearing a uniform, and thought he might be a spy. A girl was surprised that the match was over so quickly. She hadn't seen the crucial moment, and was really annoyed. The people around didn't believe that Red had actually managed to win the second round, even though he was from the 10th grade, but he pulled it off. Everyone realized that because of Lu Yan's shouting, they couldn't see anything, but the guy had already left the arena. Lu Yan managed to get away from the upset academy students in time because if he had stayed, he would have become their target. The guy didn't understand where he had ended up this time. Lu Yan was looking for the red door that a man had told him about at the entrance of this academy. Turning another corner, Lu Yan thought he had come to the right place this time. Realizing that this place was another dead end, the guy got annoyed that he couldn't figure out the area's layout. The guy decided to jump that dead end by using his star power boost. Lu Yan managed to leap the dead end to another part of the building in the academy. Suddenly, the guy noticed the women's locker room right in front of him. He did not expect that turn of events. A girl named He Yan noticed the guy. She was a late-stage yellow rank Star Soul Master and a 10th grade senior at the Military Technology Academy. Lu Yan was shocked by the sight and didn't know how to react. The girls were shocked at the boldness of the guy who was following them. All the girls asked to catch this guy, thinking he was a peeping Tom. Lu Yan ran away and tried to tell them they had it wrong, saying he didn't mean any harm. The girls didn't believe him. Running away, the guy hit another dead end, which was very surprising, as he was now being chased by angry girls. The cornered guy tried to explain himself, but the girls told him to be quiet, saying they would first handle the creep who was following them. then tie him up and send him to the principal. In the principal's office on the top floor of the administration building, the acting director realized it was Lu Yan who was supposed to report to her. The beaten-up guy said that he was Lu Yan from a village on the southern border. He had passed the special entrance test early from the Star Soul Master Training School and scored 97 points on the military discipline exam. Xiao Yue, the director's secretary, said that Lu Yan's father was a retired military officer, a commander of the Five. Then Gu Shijing, the acting director, pointed out that this guy looked promising, adding that by the age of 20, he could get close to the black rank. Looking at the guy, Shijing asked Xiao Yue to take care of the paperwork since they were hosting him. Lu Yan did not understand why the woman was looking at him like that. The acting headmaster said to untie him first. Yan tried to object to Shijing, but Lu Yan quickly pointed out that it was a misunderstanding, because he did not intend to peek at them. The girl irritably snorted back at the guy, then puffed up her cheeks. Shijing informed the boy that he would be enrolled in the 10th grade, where Yan was studying, and then asked the head student, Yan, to give Lu Yan a tour of the school and hand him over to his class teacher. The girl did not interrupt Shijing's instructions and was ready to carry them out. For starters, she needed to go get Lu Yan's uniform. Shijing asked Xiao Yue to hand over Lu Yan's personal file. The secretary obeyed her boss and handed the documents to the girl. The secretary used magic to seal Lu Yan's personal file into a card. When Xiao Yue handed this card to the head student, she asked him not to lose it because it contained all the information about Lu Yan. Yan, picking up the rolling pin, signaled to her classmate to follow her. She was still keeping an eye on him. The girl indicated to Shijing that she was leaving and exited the principal's office. The guy decided to follow his classmate's example, noting that student Lu Yan was leaving. Xiao Yue informed Shijing that there was a report of missing students. The assistant instructor reported that student Song Yunxiang had been absent from class and out of contact for 3 days. Taking a smoking pipe, the woman heard that Instructor Cheng was asking if he needed to report the missing person to the public security department. After smoking a cigarette, the woman said she remembered this missing guy, calling him a worthless guy with a damaged soul who was pushed into the academy through the Song family's connections from Yuanding City. Xiao Yue pointed out that according to the last student who saw Song, he was in the dormitory, asking, since today is April 9th, why no one had seen him. Xiao Yue coughed and asked why Shijing was smoking in the office. Shijing looked sweetly back at her secretary, who was gasping for breath from the smoke in the office. Xiao Yue didn't understand why the woman kept smoking and didn't listen to her. Shijing pointed out that her assistant was making too much noise, adding that the missing guy's family situation was complicated. She decided to contact his family. Later, Yan gave the guy a tour of their academy, showing him the stellar machine workshop, the dormitory, and the laboratory, pointing out that tomorrow they would study the construction of stellar souls, which would be held in the lecture hall of the main building. Lu Yan asked the head student where they were going now. The girl replied that they would head to the arena, and after lunch, the star soul fighting practice sessions would begin. Yan pointed out to the guy to change into a new uniform, saying that teachers dislike students who dress carelessly. The guy stopped and noticed something strange. The girl tried to hurry the classmate, asking why he froze in one place. The guy looked up excitedly. Yan didn't understand what he was looking at, so mesmerized. Lu Yan asked the head student what the statue was that he really liked and was so interested in looking at. The girl said that this statue was put up in honor of a legendary hero who lived 400 years ago. This hero's name was Star Soul General Zhu Si. According to the legend of the Eastern continent, thousands of years ago, terrible monsters suddenly came down upon the earth. The monsters ruthlessly smashed everything around them, consuming intelligent life and products of civilization. The human race couldn't fight back against the monsters and was close to ending. When everyone had already lost all hope, immortals came down from the heavens and created bones from stars and body shells from souls, summoning out-of-body magical images known as Star Soul Generals. With the help of this incredible power, they began to finish the monsters. The immortals also brought with them soul jades that contained the power of the generals. These jades chose those who were destined to become heroes of mankind and gave them power. The immortals taught the human race a secret way to improve the Star Soul veins. People who could learn this secret art and practice it began to be called Masters of the Star Soul. Thousands of years ago, a wise man of the human race, imitating the art of the immortals, created his own Star Soul technique that could be used by more than just the chosen ones. The founder of the academy and its first director was the celebrated Star Soul General Zhu Si. The girl added that people used Zhu Si to lay the foundation for the Tiandu country by freeing its southern part, and founded an academy in this place 400 years ago. Yan pointed out that the Star Soul had also been turned into a soul jade and sealed in this statue. She was still protecting their academy and waiting for a new hero to appear. Lu Yan looked at the statue with happy eyes, telling the head student that this story made his insides stir. The guy promised the statue that he would become the same kind of hero as the founder of this academy. His goal was to become one of the top 8 Tiandu generals and the strongest Star Soul Master. Suddenly, after the words were said, a noise was heard from the statue. The guy didn't understand what had happened. He-Yan realized that it was the fluctuating resonance of the soul force, assuming it was due to Zhu Ci's soul jade. Lu-Yan asked what that was just now, not understanding what was going on. The girl didn't understand why the Star Soul General resonated with this guy. After all, in her opinion, Lu-Yan could not be the next Zhu Ci user. Approaching the statue, the guy didn't understand why there was no more reaction. He-Yan refused to believe that the founder Star Soul General could choose someone to harm this guy. The guy suggested that for the statue to react, he should try dousing it with saliva. He-Yan slapped the guy and told him to behave normally and stop messing around with the Zhu Ci statue. The girl dragged him along, informing him that he should introduce himself to the teacher. Lu-Yan was sure that Zhu Ci had clearly reacted to him. Our boy standing there realized that 60 years ago, the people of the Eastern continent still believed in the legend of the descended immortals. Tucking in his sleeves, our boy realized that everything was almost ready. This time he would not let the people here perish in vain. Meanwhile, in the Academy's battle arena, two students in mechanical machines were fighting again. The winner of this match was the student behind the blue general. All present were happy that he managed to win. The class assistant Cheng Yi informed teacher Wu Bei that the student in the blue general had done well, suggesting that he be awarded extra points. Wu Bei, the class teacher of the 10th grade, considered Cheng Yi's suggestion and pointed out that the student was dragging out the battle too long, assuring that if he had fought on a real battlefield, he would definitely fail. Unexpectedly, their conversation was interrupted by He-Yan, who reported that she had brought Lu-Yan, the new student, to report. Wu Bei asked if this was the same guy who passed the special entrance test. Lu-Yan reported that it was him, adding that he came from a village in the southern part of Tiandu. He was at the early stage of the yellow rank, but Wu Bei asked him to stop. Wu Bei indicated that she did not like listening to all this useless nonsense. She turned to He-Yan and said that in the next game, He-Yan would be fighting against this guy. Hearing this, the boy tried to disagree because he had just arrived at the academy. He-Yan was happy about this instruction from Wu Bei because she was looking forward to handling this guy who had been peeking at them. Watching the fight, the students told the head teacher to teach the newcomer a lesson, warning the newcomer to be careful because He-Yan was one of the best in the 10th grade. Cheng Yi asked if Lu-Yan knew how to create a Star Soul General and control it. The boy replied that he had learned it at the master training school, and his father had also taught him a lot of things, pointing out that he had not yet been given a Star Soul General. Assistant Cheng Yi held out the soul amulet that belonged to Ween, who had not come, indicating that he needed to infuse his soul power into the talisman and follow the instructions to create a Star Soul General. The guy was delighted after receiving the Weiwan Academy mass production martial technology talisman, noting that this talisman was more advanced than his father's soul jade. Assistant Cheng Yi was surprised at this guy's reaction to the talisman he had received. He applied the Star Soul building technique, preparing to duel with the guy. Lu-Yan followed the head student and used the Star Soul building technique as well. He-Yan indicated that she was not going to show him mercy, intending to get revenge on Lu-Yan for spying on them. The guy replied that He-Yan should give her best effort. All the students were betting on He-Yan, pointing out that they should not hold them back because it was already getting dark and was time for dinner. The girl attempted a powerful attack on the newcomer who was defending with a shield. Lu-Yan managed to dodge the head student's attack just in time, which pierced the floor of the arena with a powerful punch. He-Yan tried to attack the newcomer with her sword, but Lu-Yan managed to block her attack in time. The guy started to run away, and the girl ordered him to stop, asking him where his enthusiasm had gone. Watching the match, Assistant Cheng Yi pointed out that Lu-Yan was not fighting He-Yan at all, but only dodging and running away. Wu Bei replied to the assistant that she should not underestimate the newcomer, pointing out that his moves might look chaotic, but he was excellent at avoiding He-Yan's attacks. Lu-Yan managed to successfully cover himself from the attack of the head student, who tried to attack him with her sword. Lu-Yan realized that the head student's strength was great. The difference in the two stages of refinement had too much influence on this conflict. The students told the rookie to start fighting back. The second guy said that the rookie was at the beginning stage of the yellow rank and He-Yan was already at the peak, so her general should be stronger and more durable than Lu-Yan's. Seeing the girl's next lunge, the guy realized that he couldn't fight her directly and decided to increase the distance. Lu-Yan pointed out that the head student was not very good at controlling attacks with soul force beams, because from this distance, her attacks wouldn't even scratch him. Hearing such words, He-Yan became furious and was ready to use her strength to the maximum. A student in the stands noticed that the head student was going to use that maneuver. They didn't understand how the rookie managed to provoke He-Yan into going for such a thing. Assistant Cheng Yi pointed out that in such a situation, the rookie would be done for because even a shield wouldn't help him block her attack. He was sure that Lu-Yan wouldn't be able to dodge it. The girl tried to hit the newcomer with her powerful attack. She was sure he wouldn't be able to withstand her. The newcomer tried to dodge his opponent's attack, but it grazed his metal star general's body. Seeing this, one guy pointed out that this match was painful for him to watch, and another guy noted that the newcomer was still doing quite well against He-Yan. Cheng Yi was shocked at what was happening in the arena. Ube pointed out that the newcomer would win. Hearing her words, the other students were surprised by such a statement from the class teacher. Although the red general was badly damaged, his sword was aimed at the blue general's weak point, and according to the rules, Lu Yan wins. Yan was shocked by the outcome of their fight but was pleased that he was able to win against such a strong opponent. A student was shocked that the newcomer managed to handle their senior, even though he was behind her in rank. Ube informed everyone that they had all done well in the practice session, and Lu Yan had beaten a late-stage yellow rank contestant while only being at the early stage. The guy pointed out that this fight was amazing because the senior student was pushing him so hard that he couldn't respond at all, adding that her general was better than his in strength and speed. Lu Yan added that while observing her movements, he noticed that she rarely released rays of mental power to speed up her movements or improve her maneuverability, so he assumed that she had little mental power or her fighting habits were strictly defensive. Ube realized that a rookie, fighting a stronger opponent, was able to calmly assess the situation on the battlefield. This guy seemed interesting to her. The guy continued to say that because of Yan's temper, he deliberately provoked her and then launched a counterattack. The girl couldn't bear to listen to all of this. Yan couldn't stand it and said that the guy was just lucky, asking him to stop calling her senior and refer to her as the head student. Suddenly, Lu Yan pointed out that he had broken general number 16, not understanding how to pay for it. The girl said that generals were created with the help of the master's soul power, and there was no lasting damage. Yan realized that this general belonged to that guy. Cheng Yi confirmed her guess by pointing out that this general belonged to young Master Song Yunshang, who had been absent from class for 3 days, and he was going to report him missing. Lu Yan asked what he meant by 3 minutes, asking what it referred to. The guys pointed out that due to his damaged veins, he could only use the Star Soul General for 3 minutes before it automatically dissipated, indicating that Song Yunshang was the worst of the worst. Ube ordered the students to stop this conversation and go to the cafeteria, indicating that after lunch, they were all free. The girl did not understand why it suddenly started to get dark so quickly because she hadn't noticed it before. Suddenly, a huge number of monsters began to appear in the sky, coming out of space, breaking it like glass. Then a siren sounded at the academy that night to inform everyone of the impending danger. Hearing the alarm of the defensive array, Ube was confused by such an event. Rifts appeared in the neighborhood. A wave of monsters began to come over the academy, and students were panicked by the sudden appearance of the monsters. Many monsters got into the surrounding neighborhoods of this city and ruined everything in their path. The people, realizing that the monsters were near them, intended to flee to the shelter. All of them began to run for their lives. The guy noticed that one of the monsters was ready to unleash a howling, powerful attack on them, and was shocked by it. The monster managed to use its technique. The light hitting the guy's body split him into small molecules. Assistant Cheng Yi, following Ube's instructions, used the Star Soul formation, taking Wei Yin's machine, and managed to resist the monster's attack. Everyone in the neighborhood began to be knocked off their feet, but Ube continued to stand by and watch what was happening in their academy. Damage to the core was recorded at 73%. The volume of soul force was 22%. Cheng Yi managed to resist the monster's attack and protect the students. Gourmet-type monsters began to approach him. Ube started counting the monsters, and managed to count up to a dozen monsters that were heading towards them. Cheng Yi ordered the entire 10th class to retreat and get out of the battle zone because they wouldn't be able to deal with this enemy, and began to rebuild the outer armor. Yan asked Ube if there was anything they could do to help them. The guy was ready to engage in battle and head toward the monsters. The class teacher replied that they were listening to orders and retreating from the conflict. One of the monsters tried to attack Cheng Yi's aide, who was standing in defense of the students. Ube rushed to his aid just in time and sliced the huge body of the attacking monster. The guys were shocked at such strength. Their class teacher, Yan, pointed out that it was teacher Ube's special Yuan white-colored mech. Cheng Yi warned Ube that there was another monster behind them who was trying to grab them. Ube thought it was strange that the monster's movement had abruptly slowed down. She didn't understand what had happened. Cheng Yi told Ube that more monsters were approaching, saying that the two of them might not be able to handle it, and ordered him to shut up. Ube replied that they should hold back the monsters until reinforcements arrived. Assistant Cheng Yi agreed with her. Yan, along with the newcomer, watched their teachers battle and didn't understand what they should do in such a situation. The girl pointed out to the boy that they needed to do as they were told since they would only be in the way of their teachers. The students hurried to the shelter as the teachers wished, and Lu Yan followed Yan. The guy noticed something strange in the sky. Ube was calling the command center, trying to report the situation to them. The command center tried to call the vehicle Ube was driving. Xiao Yue said that the reinforcements had almost arrived. Upon their arrival, a temporary squad would be formed with Ube as the commander. adding that they needed to hold the arena area and stop the monsters from spreading. Ube, having received the battle instructions, was ready to proceed with the order. The student council team came to the aid of Ube and Sheng Yi and were ready to fight the monsters together. The girl was pleased and thanked them. She began to give them instructions on how to conduct this fight. Ube ordered them to form a 12th position battle formation against the monsters. The student council adopted the tiger wing formation as instructed by teacher Ube and were ready to fight. This formation takes advantage of the location and is suitable for a long defense. Shijing pointed out that this was exactly what Ube had expected because she had become famous in the northern battle zones as a white fox. Xiao Yu reported that her team had successfully established a line of defense in the 8 o'clock direction. The screen showed that reinforcements had arrived for all the teams. The area where the rift and monsters appeared was completely closed off. Xiao Yue waited for further instructions from the director. Shijing ordered all the machines of the Military Technology Academy to hold their positions and the enemy inside the perimeter, instructing them to hold back until the wave of monsters ended. Hearing the director's order, none of the warriors were ready to retreat from restraining the monsters. One of the monsters tried to strike the general, but the warrior managed to dodge the blow in time and continued to hold back the rush of monsters. There was a massive destruction of one of the academy buildings on the other side from Ubei's squad. Lu Yan, running away from a monster, didn't understand why the monster appeared even in such a place. He and Yan continued to run away to safety. The boy asked the girl why this monster kept chasing them, pointing out that it had suddenly gotten even faster. The girl told Lu Yan that he should try to lose the monster, ordering the guy to run towards the 9th underground entrance. The guy replied that he didn't know the road that leads to the 9th underground entrance. Yan said that the underground entrance was right under Zuxi's statue, and the girl tried to stop the monster that was chasing them by using the Star Soul formation. The girl managed to confront the monster that was chasing them, so that Lu Yan could get to safety. Lu Yan tried to run as fast as possible to the 9th underground entrance, trying to see Zuxi's statue. As the guy ran away, he saw that the monster had managed to grab the head of the mechanical machine that Yan was controlling, but the girl was struggling to deal with his attacks. The monster managed to smash the huge mechanical machine to the ground. Yan called out to the newcomer that he needed to keep running towards the statue no matter what. The boy decided to obey the girl's instructions. He didn't understand why he was so useless. Realizing he could only run away, Lu Yan didn't understand why he could only watch others sacrifice themselves to save him. Stopping, the guy realized he could help the others if he had a Star Soul general. Remembering the Zuxi statue, Lu Yan suggested that it could help him. The guy realized that if he became the one chosen by the Soul Jade, Zuxi would be able to give him the power of the Star Soul general. Lu Yan hoped that the girl would hold out a little longer and could wait for him to come back for her. The guy managed to reach Zuxi's statue, which he was very happy about. He began to shout out, praying to the statue that Star Soul General Zuxi would recognize him. Suddenly the guy stopped, noticing something unusual near this statue. He was surprised to see that there was someone on top of the statue. The guy didn't understand what was going on in this place. He assumed that the Zuxi statue had been damaged. The newcomer noticed the Zuxi Soul Jade in the hands of the guy standing on the statue and was very surprised, not expecting such a turn of events. Lu Yan tried to find out from the guy who he was and what the jade in his hand was. The guy replied that his name was Song Yunxiang, indicating that he had returned to the academy. Shortly before the incident, Yunxiang was tormented by the souls of those he failed to save and asked for their forgiveness. Teachers and students at the Military Technology Academy who looked down on him, the girl who did not dare to marry him because of her damaged soul veins. The Song family soldiers were going to defend Yuanding City to the very end, but they were too weak to fight. Yunxiang was told that he was weak and must leave this place to survive and continue the Song family. The friends from Xuanjiaowei told the comrade to leave them and escape, and pointed out that if there is an afterlife, he would like to continue following Song Yunxiang. The most important thing for Yunxiang were the people who surrounded him. The girl had told the guy with her last bit of strength that he would be able to repay her in the next life. Yunxiang was tormented by the memories of the people who tried to protect him, the enemy that Yunxiang couldn't handle. The guy in the memories told Yunxiang that he could never defeat him. The Star-Lord system and the people he met on the southern continent and the western continent, the inner struggles that had tormented Yunxiang for decades, will finally be able to leave him alone. The guy tried his best to make a breakthrough with his powers. There was a bright flash. One of the dormitory buildings was affected. Yunxiang had managed to make a breakthrough for a long time. The guy managed to break through 4 stages in a row in just 3 days. Yunxiang understood that for a body with damaged soul veins, it was too hard. He realized that he had no time. Having previously faced tens of thousands of invincible enemies, he had experienced the frustration of his weakness. Yunxiang decided to return and fall along with the enemies that day. The guy never thought he would be able to travel 60 years into the past. Getting dressed, the guy looked at his body. He was sort of a failure due to the damage to his soul veins. To protect his father, Yunxiang snuck into the military technology academy. Previously, the boy didn't understand his father's intentions and relied on his status as the young lord of the Song family, leading a shameful lifestyle. Later, the academy was ruined by a wave of monsters. The Song family was also wiped out and completely fell, and the country of Tiandu fell. In his past life, Yunxiang accidentally discovered the Star Lord system in the ruins of an ancient civilization. The system that saved him in the past stayed with him, and this time the guy ordered the system to check his status. The guy didn't understand why the system revived with him, but the Star Soul Generals and all the things he had stored in the system space disappeared. Yunxiang was determined to start from the beginning. The guy was reborn on the 9th of April on the 11th night. The Military Technology Academy would be destroyed by the wave of monsters. Thanks to the alchemy he had learned in the southern continent, Yunxiang was able to make a rapid breakthrough, from the initial stage of the yellow rank to its peak. In a past life, the guy was able to obtain soul vein restoration pills when he turned 50. His life was no longer threatened, but he could only use 20% of the powers of the copied original Star Soul Generals. Yunxiang only has to make one more such pill, and then will be able to completely restore his soul veins without leaving any hidden problems. The guy went to the southern region's great potion pharmacy in the commercial district of Changdong district of Yuanding City. Yunxiang told the seller that he had come to pick up the heavenly dragon stock ordered yesterday. The seller replied that his order was still on its way and would arrive closer to noon. 60 years ago, the eastern continent lacked alchemists, and the art itself was extremely underdeveloped, but the heavenly dragon stem, which was almost impossible to find, could easily be bought at this pharmacy. The guy knew that once he got hold of the last part to create the pills, he would be able to fully recover his soul veins. Realizing that Yuan's mass production machines would be enough for him to deal with low-rank monsters while waiting for delivery, the guy decided to go to the Military Technology Academy and set up a couple of arrays against the monsters. Yunxiang hoped that he could minimize their losses in this battle. He had learned the art of array formation in the northern continent, realizing that in this era, it was already 100 years ahead of the eastern continent. Right now, Yunxiang's refinement level was too low. He could only put up arrays that slowed the monsters. According to legend, immortals descended from the heavens and summoned out-of-body magical images known as Star Soul Generals. Our boy noticed He Yan and Lu Yan talking. The girl was telling the newcomer about the first headmaster's Star Soul General, Zhu Si. In his past life, Yunxiang had pleaded in front of the statue like a stray dog begging for strength, but received no response. The guy was determined to do things differently this time. He ordered the system to scan the statue. The system discovered the soul jade of a Star Soul General that had no master. The target was captured. The system requested permission to forcibly extract it. Earlier, the girl had noticed the fluctuating resonance of the statue's soul force when Yunxiang was extracting the Star Soul Jade. Yunxiang asked if the system could copy it for him. The system said that copying a soul jade without a master was impossible, advising him to set it aside in the system space and find its master. He realized that if he took the soul jade now, it would be of no use, so he decided to wait until the night before the monster tide began and retrieve the soul jade in the midst of the chaos. Yunxiang received a message. Assuming that the heavenly dragon stock had already been delivered, the guy decided to go to the pharmacy to order and produce revival pills to restore the soul veins. This time, Yunxiang had returned and intended not to let everyone perish in vain. Yunxiang hurried to the pharmacy to get his order. Walking down the busy street of the city, the guy noticed a stranger who looked familiar. Yunxiang didn't understand why this person was in this place. The guy asked the system to scan the man who walked past him. Seeing the scan, the guy realized that his mental strength was concentrated in the chest area of the Dantian. Yunxiang knew that this kind of refinement method was unique to the northern continent. Looking at his back, the boy assumed that this stranger was a native of the country of Meilun. The state that borders the northern border of Tiu is one of the 3 countries that adopted the culture of the eastern continent. In Yunxiang's past, 3 years later, the Myron Kingdom was the first to upset the balance of power, after which it started a full-scale war against the Tiandu Kingdom. One by one, other countries were drawn into the war, which was the impetus for the ruin of the entire eastern continent. The boy didn't understand why this man from Myron had appeared in this place. Assuming there was a secret he didn't know, Yunxiang reached the pharmacy of the southern region. It was a branch in Yuanding City. The girl greeted the guy, saying that today they had discounts on the anti-wound powder and body-hardening elixir, but Yunxiang pointed out to her that he had come to pick up the heavenly dragon stock. After realizing that this guy was from the Song family, the girl kindly offered to let him enter the very important person area. The girl said that his order, worth 13,000 in Tiandu currency, had arrived, adding that he would have to pay 20% extra for the expedited delivery. Yunxiang said that he didn't have enough money right now. The girl said that their store doesn't provide credit, and therefore if he couldn't pay for the goods in full, he wouldn't be able to pick them up. He indicated to the girl that he would like to sell these pills that he showed her. The girl replied that they don't buy pills. Taking one of the flasks, the girl was shocked to see a third-rank soul restoration pill potion. The girl was shocked by the high quality of the pills, which was higher than that of their store's alchemist, assuming that it was a rare rank 4 soul condensation pill. Taking a few flasks, the girl asked if she could take the pills to the shopkeeper for consultation. Yunxiang replied that she could take them. In exchange, he would take the heavenly dragon stock, and he also asked if he could use their alchemy room. The girl replied that they didn't have a permanent alchemist, and this room hadn't been used for a long time. The guy replied that it didn't matter. He needed a quiet place where he could isolate the fluctuating mental forces. Given Yunxiang's request, the cute girl asked him to follow her. Yunxiang noticed a pill kiln that was built 60 years ago and wanted to work with it, but unfortunately, it was broken. The boy was pleased that he was able to learn the art of void alchemy from the people of the southern continent. Using alchemical arrays, Yunxiang could create pills without using a furnace. The guy used the 4-direction melting and recycling array in this combat grass, oblivion dust flower, crossing misfortune purple, spiritual poison, death thief, cowardly evil, wrenched demon, and stalk of the heavenly dragon. He used them in the creation of the pills. There was an alchemical combination of all the necessary elements to create the drug. Meanwhile, the girl told the owner that the customer paid with these pills for the heavenly dragon stock, but one drug the girl couldn't recognize. The man was surprised to see these pills. The man indicated it was a blood ignition pill. Looking at the girl, the man asked her if she was sure that the customer wanted to sell these pills to their store. The girl replied that the customer had said so. The man asked where this customer was now. The girl said that the guy was in the alchemy room. The girl forgot to tell Yunxiang that the pill-making furnace was broken. She assumed that the young lad was unlikely to be an alchemist. Meanwhile, Yunxiang dispensed with the furnace and continued to create the pills he needed. After completing the preparation process, the guy received a potion of the highest quality 6th rank revival pills, which he was very satisfied with. The guy immediately consumed this pill, and now he could restore his soul veins. A magical glow formed around him. The man pointed out that no sounds were heard from the alchemy room. Doubting his assistant's words, the girl pointed out that the guest had placed some kind of blocking array inside, and it was impossible to open the door from the outside. Suddenly, the sound of the door to the alchemy room opening was heard. The girl introduced the director of this store to Yunxiang. The man introduced himself as Hong Feng. Hong Feng realized that this young man was studying at the Academy of Military Technology and was curious to know where Yunxiang got so many valuable pills from, assuming that there was a great alchemist behind the guy. The guy replied, acknowledging the excitement of their meeting, and inquired whether Hong Feng was satisfied with the pills provided. The man replied that he was more than satisfied. The man assumed that the red pill in this flask was the legendary 5th rank blood ignition pill potion. Yunxiang confirmed the store manager's hunch. Hong Feng asked the guy if he really wanted to sell such a valuable item to their store. The guy replied that he had no choice but to offer Mr. Hong his own price for the pills. The man replied that such a pill could help a green or lower ranked star soul master directly advance one stage, and if one was at the peak stage, he could easily break through to the next rank with the help of it, suggesting that the guy put the drug up for auction. The boy asked Mr. Hong to name the price of these pills. Hong Feng replied that he was willing to pay 300,000 for the pill, and for the soul replenishment pills, he would take half the cost at 250,000. He added that he wanted to maintain a good relationship with Yunxiang, and so he was willing to pay him $500,000 for everything. Our boy realized that since he looked young, Hong Feng wanted to make him think that he had received a lucrative offer, assuming that next Hong Feng would want to know the source of these pills. Yunxiang made a thoughtful face while musing about the $500,000 for these pills. Hong Feng said that he could get about 600,000 for these pills, so he offered to sell him 100,000 worth of herbs. Our boy replied that their Juan Palace never lowers its price. Yunxiang pointed out that if he added 2 more blood ignition pills, could they agree on a price of 1 million? The man was shocked by such a suggestion, suggesting that this fellow was patronized by a 5th rank alchemist. Realizing that Yunxiang was related to one of the 8th strongest Tiandu generals, Hong Feng pointed out that these were indeed blood ignition pills of the highest quality, and the guy realized that this bait should be enough to catch the big fish behind them. Yunxiang assumed that Hong Feng came from a trade union that owned all the pharmacy branches. In the past life, Hong Feng controlled 70% of all the mining and processing of medicinal materials. Our boy knew that to protect the world from future waves of monsters, he needed to increase his power and create his own army, money, connections, and access to resources. realizing that Hong's alliance must be put to good use by him. Hong Feng pointed out to the guy that this place was not suitable for negotiations and offered to go to his office and taste tea from his collection. Yun Xiang gladly accepted his offer. Yun Xiang received a notification that his bank account had received a transfer of 1 million. He assumed that the director had called him to pay for the Heavenly Dragon stem. The man replied that this stem was not that rare and was willing to give it up for 30,000. Yun Xiang decided not to refuse Hong Feng's generosity, thanking him for it and noting that the tea was fine. Hong Feng directed the assistant to fetch a gold card with the number 36 from the drawer of his desk. The girl brought the guy a gold card. Yun Xiang asked Hong Feng what kind of card it was. The man replied that it was a jade talisman of a platinum-level member of the Hong Union. Using this card, Yun Xiang would receive privileges and discounts of the appropriate level at any Hong Trade Union store. Having received such a bonus, the guy fairly left this store. The owner and assistant walked him off the porch. The girl asked if he was polite to the young master because he knew about his background. Hong Feng replied that if his guess was correct, this guy must be a young master of the Song family from Nanju, adding that the 8 generals, who are their country's main combat power, but even a few saint-rank masters are not as precious as who is standing behind this young man. The girl asked if he really thought that a 5th-rank alchemist was behind Yun Xiang, pointing out that 5th-rank potions were usually only obtained from relics or found in ancient ruins. The man replied that the tested pills were of the highest quality and ordered the girl to inform the 4th miss that there was a lead on the 5th-rank alchemist she was looking for. Walking down the street, our boy met a girl who was hurriedly covering her face. Yun Xiang thought this girl seemed familiar. He was shocked by such an encounter. In a flashback to a past life with this girl, the guy realized it was his favorite. Grabbing her hand, the guy shouted her name, Umbrella. The girl didn't expect the stranger to grab her arm. She was shocked by such boldness from the guy. The system detected that the user had come into contact with the host of the Star Soul General and then analyzed and copied Lubu's Star Soul General. In Yun Xiang's past life, they didn't meet her until 3 years later. At that time, she was already at the Saint rank. Umbrella adhered to the principle of Quiet Abyss. She was associated with the unrivaled strength of Lubu. After these two had fought monsters together on the brink of life and death, they had become lovers. Our boy asked if the name Umbrella was real, or if it was a code name given to her in the Quiet Abyss. The girl answered that the Great Messenger named her Umbrella as a sign that she is destined to protect from rain and wind those who stand at her back. Yun Xiang asked what her real name was. The girl gave him a positive answer. The past feelings of the lovers were strong and real. They treasured the time they lived together. Currently, Umbrella didn't know Yun Xiang, so she tried to escape from his touch. Our boy noticed that the girl looked much younger than when he met her 3 years later. Breaking free, the girl asked the guy who he was. With her other hand, she discreetly pulled out a knife. Suddenly, the girl poked the guy, asking how he knew her name. Having knocked out the knife, our boy told the girl that there was no need to be nervous, indicating that he was not her enemy. But she didn't understand the stranger's intentions. The girl tried to find out who he was and how he knew the technique of handling the Quiet Abyss. Yun Xiang asked if she was being followed. Without waiting for an answer, our boy received a sudden kick between his legs. Yun Xiang squealed from such a powerful blow to his groin. The unknowns who were following Umbrella saw what had happened and were ready to continue tracking the girl. Suddenly, Yun Xiang tripped up one of Umbrella's pursuers, who was caught up in the air and crashed to the ground. Getting up, the guy asked if Yun Xiang was paying attention. His partner asked him not to involve outsiders in their surveillance. Yun Xiang pointed out to the guy that he had been kicked and wanted to just get away. The guy replied that it was all a lie and he had tripped himself. The unknown person suggested that Yun Xiang was in cahoots with that red-haired thief who was dodging them. The hooded guy said that he was from the Tiandu investigation department, starting to suspect Yun Xiang was an accomplice of the criminal, and said he should come with them. Yun Xiang realized that they were definitely not from the investigation department. Our boy pointed out to them that he was also from that department, showing them a document and asking about the vessel in which the yellow pistols were dried. The hooded guys assumed it was a secret code used by the Tiandu investigation department. The unknown person replied that the bowl was turning into a dusty flower, suggesting that Yun Xiang was one of them. The one named 481 Yun Xiang identified himself as a subordinate of Anjiang from the Nanju investigation department, asking what the call signs of the hooded guys were. The guy indicated to the others not to linger too long, ordering them to follow the girl, and he would deal with this guy. The unknown man replied that they were agents directly under the command of the investigation department headquarters, indicating that they had just seen him in contact with the target of their mission, asking Yun Xiang to explain what had happened. Our boy replied that their department had long been keeping an eye on this girl handler from the Quiet Abyss, saying that if they hadn't shown up, he would have apprehended her. The stranger offered to go with them and discuss everything on the way. Yunxiang was not opposed to it and replied that he would consult with his superior. The hooded guy pointed out that you cannot do that, indicating that there is a suspected spy in the investigation department, asking not to report their mission so that it does not affect the closing operations. Yunxiang asked what team had ambushed the girl. The hooded guy replied that his men had closed off the perimeter outside of town, indicating that the rest of them had retreated and they needed to hurry, and they both ran together. In his past life, Yunxiang was the commander of the Tiandu Protective Black Shell. He noticed that this guy's mental strength was concentrated in the Dantian, realizing that he was also from the country of Myron. Yunxiang did not expect to encounter stray spies from this country at such a time. The guy realized that in his past life, after the academy was ruined by a wave of monsters, Zhu Ci's soul jade had simply disappeared, suggesting that these spies from the country of Myron had something to do with it. Yunxiang followed the spies wearing a black cloak from a foreign country. Yunxiang noticed the caramelized strawberries on a stick that Umbrella loved a lot. Yunxiang told the seller that he would take a few pieces into the amulet for storage, adding that no change was needed. The seller was happy to have such a customer. Yunxiang decided to check if these strawberries were sour to give to Umbrella. The hooded guy said that his name was Jia Ming and asked what his companion's name was. Yunxiang replied, his name was Cheng Yi. Meanwhile, the mention of his name made Cheng Yi sneeze. Ube asked if her assistant was sick, and he said he just had a runny nose. Meanwhile, Umbrella ran into the woods and noticed that her pursuers had kept up with her, not realizing how they ended up in this place. The girl skillfully managed to jump to the ground using star energy to avoid injury, and Umbrella spotted Captain Black, who said he was waiting for her, directing her to reveal the information. The girl pulled out her knife and was ready to engage in conflict with this man. The rest of the pursuers lurked behind Captain Black's back. Awaiting further instructions, the girl noticed she was surrounded on all sides. The man indicated that it was a golden sign assassin from the quiet abyss nicknamed the Red-Haired Death, a star soul master who was half a step away from Earth rank. Looking at the girl, Captain Black did not expect such a beauty to be in this place. One of the guys pointed out to the girl that the array had been activated in this place and there was no way for her to escape, suggesting that she surrender without resistance. Without hearing a reply, the body of one of the guys was pierced by the sharp dagger that Umbrella had launched. The girl made it clear to her opponents that she did not intend to just give in to them and obey their instructions. The order came to capture this girl. All the warriors rushed to fulfill the order, and Umbrella was preparing for battle. Jia Ming pointed out that the formation had been activated, assuming that the assassin had already been intercepted in this area. Yunxiang realized that judging from the fluctuations in space, it must be a 5th rank barrier-type spatial array. A big barrier was around the territory Umbrella had been driven into. Yunxiang noticed the gray Wuan vehicles that the city guards usually use. He assumed that these guys were able to get hold of the talismans of these Star Soul generals. Jia Ming reported to Captain Black that he had arrived. In the meantime, the girl alone tried to resist a large number of enemies who failed to capture her, and she noticed Yunxiang, who greeted her, indicating that they had met up with her again. Then the dagger launched by the girl flew straight at Yunxiang. When he noticed the approaching danger, he was shocked by this turn of events. Yunxiang grabbed the guy standing next to him and blocked the dagger flying at him. Yunxiang asked Umbrella why she was attacking him, pointing out that he was not with them. As she fought, she didn't realize who this guy was, even though he was only at the yellow rank, but he could dodge her attacks. Captain Black asked his subordinate who this guy was. Jia Ming reported that this guy claimed to be a secret agent of the Nanzhou Investigation Department. The commander pointed out that first, they needed to deal with the girl, and then they needed to find a way to get rid of this guy. Then, 4 mechanical robots stood guard and watched the girl's battle. One of them couldn't bear it, and pointed out that enough fun was enough, ordering the warriors to hurry up and finish off the girl. The girl noticed a powerful punch from one of her opponents, and managed to skillfully dodge it, and she used the construction of a Star Soul general. The girl was ready to fight the enemies using the Star Soul. The girl's body was loaded into the capsule, after which the construction of the mechanical suit began. The girl completed the formation, and Star Soul General Lubu appeared, pulling out her weapon. The girl struck one of the stellar opponents with lightning speed. The others who saw what was going on were shocked that the girl had managed to handle their partner. One of the enemies rushed at Umbrella, trying to deal damage to her with his sword. Seeing his approach, the girl managed to disarm the enemy's mechanical body with a masterful swing of her weapon. The system informed Umbrella that an enemy attack was approaching from the rear. The girl tried to strike from the turn with her foot, but the opponent managed to block this attack, after which they were thrown away at a great distance. The enemy instructed his team not to stop and deal with this strong girl. Everyone obeyed his instruction. Everyone had used the Star Soul formation, causing Umbrella to be surrounded by enemies once again. The girl noticed that Yunxiang was trying to verbally confront Captain Black. Yunxiang pointed out that they were making so much noise outside of town. asking if they were afraid of being discovered by the town garrison. Jia Ming replied that a level 5 spatial array had been set up beforehand, even if the sky were to fall apart. Here, the people outside wouldn't notice it in any way. Hearing Yunxiang's reply and seeing the hopelessness that enveloped him, Jia Ming tried to stealthily pull out a weapon. Jia Ming tried to attack Yunxiang to prevent him from interfering with them, but Yunxiang managed to dodge his attack. With a skilled movement, Yunxiang moved behind his enemy's back and used his wand to send Jia Ming to another world. The guy could not have predicted that his opponent would turn out to be such a fast and agile warrior. Yunxiang told Commander Black that he would have no problem handling them all here without much effort. The captain was enraged by the stranger's act, ordering his soldiers to capture this insolent fellow. Black ordered his men to send Song Yunin to the other world. Grabbing Jia Ming's sword, Yunxiang began to quickly fight against the enemies who were one after another heading towards him, after which Yunxiang began to run away. But Captain Black instructed the surviving warriors to capture him and prevent him from escaping. Yunxiang asked the system if it could hack into the spatial array. The system gave an affirmative answer, indicating that it was launching an invasion. According to the analysis, the array was a 2-layered structure with a barrier-type 5th-level space folding array on the outside and a 4th-level star soul restraining array on the inside. Meanwhile, Umbrella continued to handle her opponents one by one, as she realized that there were too many enemies for her to handle alone. Commander Black ordered his subordinate that it was time to capture Lubu and to deploy the Star Soul restraining array, and he obeyed his commander's orders. The deployment of the Star Soul restraining array around Lubu caused many magical seals to appear. Then chains appeared from the magical seals that bound Lubu's starry soul. The girl didn't understand what happened. She couldn't break these magical chains, and Umbrella decided to use the Star Soul dispelling technique to break free from the restraining chains, but she didn't understand why she couldn't dispel the Star Soul General Lubu. Black pointed out to her that she was under the effects of a restraining array they had obtained from the ruins of an ancient civilization, specifically to capture Star Soul Generals. The commander ordered the assistant to prepare to forcibly extract Lubu's soul stone. A huge core appeared that was aimed at the girl to retrieve the Star Soul Stone. The extraction machine was started, and the extraction process began. Watching what was going on, one of the enemies pointed out to Umbrella that they had lost too many comrades because of her. The other pointed out that she would not be able to resist now. The enemy noticed that there was a stellar soul building happening next to them, unbeknownst to whom. With lightning-fast movements, Yunxiang began to disarm one by one the enemies that surrounded Umbrella. The magical soul stone retrieval machine was broken by the spear that Yunxiang had thrust in. The girl was shocked by such strength from the guy who helped her avoid losing the Star Soul Lubu. Yunxiang suggested the girl do a quickie, saying that he usually only lasts about 3 minutes. The girl didn't understand how this was possible, because in front of her stood the second Lubu, who was controlled by Yunxiang. And Umbrella noticed that the guy tried to deliver a powerful blow at her with his spear. Yunxiang pierced the body of the enemy who had crept up behind the girl. The impact hit right where the Star General's operator was. The enemy was shocked how Yunxiang managed to accurately pierce the mechanical body and reach him. After turning the enemy into a mist, Yunxiang realized that next time he needed to be more gentle with his enemy. The girl tried to find out from Yunxiang who he really was by asking why his U-Star General looked so much like her Lubu. Yunxiang replied that there was no reason to worry, pointing out that he was not her enemy and promising that he would tell her the details later. After all, they should team up and deal with the remaining enemies. The girl agreed to such a proposal from Yunxiang. Teaming up, the two of them began to fight against the enemies that were attacking them. Yunxiang almost handled one of his opponents, but he grabbed the tip of his spear and tried to resist him. The enemy did not resist Yunxiang's attack for long, then lost, and his mechanical body dissipated. Yunxiang claimed that this time he had so much strength to rely on. Immediately the next enemy tried to attack Yunxiang, who handled his comrade with a skillful swing of his spear. The lad managed to disarm the weapon of his enemy who was attacking him. The girl tried to fight the enemy, but he skillfully blocked her attack with his sword. When she noticed that another girl was approaching her, she swung her spear and managed to handle the two opponents with one roundhouse kick. Such a powerful blow made the girl expend a lot of energy to confront her enemies. Her breath hitched, and Umbrella realized that Yunxiang was capable of piercing through the mechanical body of the Star Soul General with one easy movement. The accuracy of controlling soul forces and knowing the structure of the enemy general's star structure amazed Umbrella. It seemed to the girl that Yunxiang was a veteran who had spent decades on the battle zones. After dealing with all the enemies, Yunxiang pointed out that that was how they were able to handle it. Yunxiang pointed out to his opponent that he was the only one left. The man didn't understand how there could be two Lubu at once. He didn't understand understand how this guy alone managed to deal with all of his men. Yunxiang ordered the commander to kneel down and surrender. Left alone against the two Lubu, the man couldn't believe his eyes. The commander rushed to the attack, saying that he would reveal what was wrong because he didn't believe that there could be two Lubu at the same time. With a deft move, Yunxiang cut off the arms of the general that was running toward him. Commander Black stumbled and kneeled before Yunxiang, who overpowered him. Yunxiang pointed out that the enemy had disguised himself as members of the investigation department to infiltrate Tiandu country, and he also pulled out the standard equipment used by the guard garrison's Star Soul generals, ordering Black to reveal what he was doing here. The girl was surprised to find out that they were disguised people from the north of Myron. Yunxiang asked if she really thought that these people were from the investigation department, and Umbrella angrily mumbled to the guy in response because she really had felt that way. The man asked the guy how he knew about it, even though he knew it didn't matter. Black hysterically praised the commander and ordered them to go to hell. The girl reported that Black was burning his soul power and was going to blow himself up. Yunxiang informed the man that he shouldn't play with self-explosives with him. He decided to show his enemy his art. The girl didn't understand how Yunxiang was able to suppress self-destruction with the same frequency of soul resonance. Yunxiang swung and prepared to strike, ordering his enemy to climb out of the Star General's body. There was a powerful impact that caused Black to scatter the mechanical body of the Star General. After Yunxiang applied dispersal on his suit to catch Commander Black, Yunxiang noticed that the second tooth on the left side had a hidden suicide poison. Yunxiang asked the man if he was Night Sprite's subordinate. Black asked the guy how he knew about Commander Night Sprite. The girl was shocked to hear Commander Night Sprite's name, assuming that he was talking about the mercenary king who commanded the 330,000 troops of the Taiwa Swordmaster and Star Soul General Dryad. Night Sprite is the host of the Star Soul General Dryad, and a swordmaster hailing from the sunken island nation of Taiwa. According to what Yunxiang knew from his past life, Night Sprite had led the remnants of the Taiwa army and joined the country of Myron as a mercenary for a few years. Then Night Sprite took part in the invasion of Tiandu. In his past life, after joining the Black Shell Defense, Yunxiang had met Night Sprite on the battlefield many times. Back then, because of his mangled soul veins, Yunxiang was no match for him. After the memories of the past, his right eye once again ached where Night Sprite's sword had left its mark. Yunxiang informed the girl that he was leaving Black to her, instructing her to take him to the quiet abyss for questioning. The girl tried to strike out at Yunxiang, asking who he was, realizing that he knew not only about the spies of the Kingdom of Myron, but also of the Quiet Abyss. Stopping her punch, Yunxiang replied that the Quiet Abyss is a secret organization that teaches the doctrine of love and non-aggression to prevent civil war. Yunxiang asked her to calm down, because he was not her enemy, adding that their goals were in some sense the same. Yunxiang announced that he wanted to unite all the forces of humanity against the real enemy. Then he managed to snatch the blade from the hand of the girl he had calmed down, after which Yunxiang took out the caramelized strawberries from his inventory. Yunxiang introduced himself to the girl as Song Yunxiang and handed her the sweets. The girl was shocked by this turn of events. As he left, the guy realized that the time would come and he would be able to tell his beloved Umbrella everything. The girl didn't understand how this guy knew what she liked. When she saw that Yunxiang intended to bury the bodies of his enemies, she called him an inscrutable man. Yunxiang was upset that nothing was stored in the enemy's talismans. When the girl saw Yunxiang searching the bodies, she assumed that was why he was helping her. The girl realized her mistake, thinking about how amazing he was. Turning around, Yunxiang asked the girl not to think something rude about him. The girl replied that he was the kind of man whose eyes light up at the sight of money. Getting up, Yunxiang pointed out the wrongness of her reasoning, and he informed the girl that she was too young to understand all the hardships of society. Then he asked if she knew which two words were the most important in navigating the world. The girl asked interestedly what words he was talking about. Yunxiang replied that they were money. With those words, Yunxiang said that she must have money to be able to fight for justice, to improve herself, pointing out that if there is money, there are hundreds of ways to improve one's rank. Yunxiang pointed out that there are no permanent enemies, only a constant race for profit, adding that if you offer enough, you can make your enemy work for you. The girl pointed out that the last words made sense, but she didn't quite understand what he meant. Yunxiang noticed that the sky suddenly darkened. The girl didn't realize what had happened. Yunxiang noticed the rifts in the sky. He didn't understand why they appeared before it happened in his past life. The girl marveled at the rifts that had appeared in Wanding City. Looking at Yunxiang, Umbrella assumed that it was his handiwork. Yunxiang looked at Commander Black and realized that it was his commander's doing. The man pointed out that their comrades from the first team had succeeded. Yunxiang asked Umbrella Umbrella if the Quiet Abyss knew anything about this case. The girl remained silent. Yun Xiang asked her to give him an answer because it was very important to him. The girl only agreed to answer him because he had helped her earlier. According to the information of the Quiet Abyss, the Kingdom of Myron, during their latest exploration of the secret realm, found a way to artificially create rifts. Myron intends to use this technology for military purposes, as reported by Umbrella. The girl indicated that she had come to Nanju specifically to investigate the case, and Umbrella could not have expected to fall into the trap of the Myron realm. She was angry at the circumstances. The boy realized that this was the work of Myron, and he began to understand everything that was going on in the world. The wounded man pointed out to the two that it was too late to act, for they were all going to the next world. Yunxiang angrily tried to shut the mouth of the man who started intimidating them. Picking up the man, Black tried to stop Yunxiang from harming him. The girl asked Yunxiang to stop, pointing out that he had already destroyed Black's soul veins, saying that her command needed the man alive. The boy put a pill to Black's mouth and told him that he would survive, indicating that there was no cause for alarm. Yunxiang handed the girl a card, indicating that he would give her thanks for the information she shared with him. He gave her the potions. He indicated that he was going back to Yuanding by asking if the girl would go with him. The girl apologized and replied that she had to rush to the Nonu branch of the Quiet Abyss, pointing out that she had an important mission and was confident that the city's troops along with the Military Technology Academy would be able to deal with the rifts. Yunxiang indicated that he didn't need an explanation because he understood everything, suggesting that Umbrella take the long-haired man and go first. Yunxiang asked the system if he could use Star Arc General Lubu's Red Flame Stallion Beast. The system replied that it would require a threefold consumption of mental power. Then he popped 3 pills into his mouth to increase his mental strength, preparing to summon the Red Flame Stallion. The girl was surprised to see 3-star soul replenishment pills worth 50,000 Tiandu coins. She didn't believe that Yunxiang had eaten 3 pieces at a time. Yunxiang applied the construction of the Star Soul General Lubu. Yunxiang was able to successfully summon a star-colored Red Flame Stallion formation. The girl was surprised to see a Star General Beast that was only available at the Celestial rank because even she could not use it yet. The surprised Umbrella suggested that it might be Zhu Ci's strength from the Military Technology Academy. According to the information of the Quiet Abyss, the legendary Star Soul General Zhu Ci has the ability to transform into other generals. The girl assumed that this guy was really a Zhu Ci master. Yunxiang heard Umbrella ask him to stop for a moment and say something. The girl informed the guy that the target of the Myron Kingdom this time is related to Zhu Ci, asking him to be careful. Left alone, the girl didn't understand where in the country of Tiandu so many mysterious and strong people appeared. She realized that it could upset the balance of power between the 3 countries and become the impetus for a new war. Saddling the Iron Stallion, Yunxiang rushed to the aid of his military academy. He realized that the Myron had caused rifts to take possession of Zhu Ci's soul jade. In his past life, after the waves of monsters in the military academy, Zhu Ci's soul jade was lost. Yunxiang assumed that the rifts had appeared earlier due to his fault. The fluctuating mental forces that appeared when he pulled out Zhu Ci's soul jade. The guy realized that his actions influenced the course of history. Meanwhile, Yuanding City in the Jiang district was blazing with fire. Locals asked for help. One of the Star Soul generals was wounded and struggling to get to his feet for further battle. The 5th squad of the Yuanding City army was trying to deal with the monsters that were heading towards them. One of the fighters asked if their teacher Guo was okay. The comrades lifted up the injured teacher Guo to try to help him in any way they could because they were surrounded by a huge number of monsters. Military Technology Academy teacher Guo Yuan, being at the black rank, thanked Commander Zhu Tong for his help. Commander Zhu Tong thanked teacher Guo Yuan in return for bringing the students to them to help them fight the monsters. Zhu Tong, captain of the 5th squad of the city army, he was at the yellow rank stage. Commander Zhu Tong pointed out that many students had to fall victim in this brutal battle. The huge monsters began to come closer and closer to the people who were trying to resist them using the Star Soul generals. The academy student informed Commander Zhu Tong that 2 more monsters were approaching them from the left side. The partner indicated that another monster was heading toward them from their right in the 13 o'clock direction. The man panicked and told his team that not 1 but 40 monsters were coming from the right. The warrior pointed out to Commander Zhu Tong that there were only a few of them left, concluding that they would not last long, suggesting that the commander retreat. Commander Zhu Tong replied that they didn't even think of retreating because they were given orders to hold this place and prevent the monsters from spreading outside the perimeter, adding that the sacrifice of their comrades could not be allowed to be in vain in this battle. Commander Zhu Tong declared that they were Tiandu warriors and would never retreat before either the Mountain of Swords or the Sea of Flames. Encouraged by the commander's speech, the warriors were ready to fight for Tiandu's victory. Commander Zhu Tong informed teacher Guo Yuan that they they would contain these monsters. Teacher Guo Yuan was instructed to take the opportunity to take the students and people here and retreat from this perimeter. The remaining warriors were ready to fight the monsters so that their wounded comrades could escape. Huge monsters started climbing over the barrier, heading towards the Star Soul generals who were ready for defense. Striking at the monster, he managed to block the warrior's weapon, trying to counter it. The warrior used his soul enhancement and managed to strike at the throat of the monster that snatched the second sword from him. A student holding the wounded teacher, Guo Yuan, asked if they should retreat as Commander Zhu Tong wished. Teacher Guo Yuan replied that he had just sent a message to headquarters asking for reinforcements, indicating that they would wait in this perimeter for a bit longer. An academy student offered to help the city's 5th security squad fight the monsters while backup arrives. Surrounding one of the warriors, monsters began to beat him up. The guy could do nothing against the huge number of monsters that surrounded him. Star Soul General was grabbed by the head by one of the monsters. The guy didn't understand how this could happen to him. The monsters tried to wreck him, but the guy used the Star Soul scattering technique to avoid injury. The others saw this and tried to help their comrade, but were prevented from doing so by the monsters that surrounded them. The academy students came to the aid of the 5th squad and managed to save one of their comrades by fighting off the monster. A comrade came to the wounded warrior and tried to help him to his feet. Meanwhile, the monsters captured another Star Soul general. The man asked Commander Zhu Tong to help him. Distracted by the request, the commander was wounded by a monster that stabbed him in the neck. With the 4 warriors left, they were once again surrounded by monsters that were intent on dealing with them. The monsters grabbed one of the Star Soul generals and started pulling in different directions. The man was shocked at this outcome of events. One of the students asked Teacher Guo Yuan why the reinforcements had not arrived at their place yet. The guy asked the others if they were not going to end their exodus here, were they? The monsters attacked the injured Teacher Guo Yuan, who was trying to fight them off. One of the monsters was trying to deliver a powerful blow to the immobilized Teacher Guo Yan, who was lying on the ground in front of him. The student, noticing the monster's intentions, tried to help his teacher Guo Yuan. The teacher was begging with her last strength for someone to help her and save her from the monster's attack. Witnessing Teacher Guo Yan's distress, he realized that no one would be able to help her in this situation. He decided to accept this inevitable action. The ordinary people watched as Teacher Guo Yuan tried to call for help, but they couldn't help her because they were powerless to fight these monsters. One of the girls heard the cries for help and started praying in the hope that they would be saved. Commander Zhu Tong didn't understand why his Weiyuan machine couldn't move because he was putting a lot of effort into it. He was trying to help Teacher Guo Yuan, who was asking for help. Teacher Guo Yuan tried to shield himself from the monster's approaching attack. An unexpected beam suddenly struck, saving Teacher Guo Yuan and sending the monster to the other world. Everyone was surprised by this sudden salvation. The people didn't know what the beam was. A huge cloud of smoke and dust rose into the air, obscuring everything. People didn't understand what had just happened. In the distant gloom, the silhouette of an unknown figure was visible, heading towards them. The warrior applied a scattering with his spear that sent a monster into another world. The spear was once again in the hands of Yunxiang, who had come to the aid of his comrades from the military academy. All the monsters, seeing the Star Soul General on a horse, rushed to attack him. Yunxiang was determined to fight such a huge number of monsters, ordering the stallion to charge toward them. He delivered a powerful blow, causing a massive explosion. He managed to send a number of monsters to another world. Yunxiang continued to launch such powerful attacks on the monsters in that perimeter. The people watching were shocked by the strength that Yunxiang possessed when he came to their aid. A student asked the injured teacher Guo Yuan if he was the backup that was called for. The injured man didn't suspect who this guy really was. One of the wounded warriors asked what kind of strong Star Soul General had come to their aid. The guy used the dissipation of his Star Soul General, and the body of the mechanical machine disappeared. The rescued people tried to discern the rescuer, who had descended to the ground toward them. After applying machine dispersal, the guy told everyone in that perimeter that there was no cause for concern, indicating that he was just a passerby who helped them. Yunxiang pointed out that the flag of Tiandu country should not be lying on the ground, so he raised it and shouted that victory would be for Tiandu. The soldier rejoiced at such words from his savior and supported him by shouting the same thing. He was happy. All the Star Soul generals shouted that the victory in this battle would be for Tiandu. The people were happy that they had been rescued and also started shouting victory slogans. All of them were happy that help had come to them. A girl noticed the uniform of the Military Technology Academy on the guy. She didn't understand where the academy got such a strong man from. Yunxiang noticed the wounded form of the girl who was fighting against the bloodthirsty monsters. Approaching the girl, he realized she was still alive. He pointed out to her that it was lucky they had met. Yunxiang took out a soul amulet, indicating that it would be the payment for her salvation. Then he put a pill in the girl's mouth to save her. The girl was unconscious from her injuries. Taking the wounded girl in his arms, Yunxiang brought her to the rest of the warriors that were fighting the monsters. Commander Zhu Tong thanked the guy for coming to their rescue. They were all grateful to Yunxiang. The man told Yunxiang that he was the commander of the Xiang District City Army 5. His partner whispered to the commander that judging by the uniform of the guy, he is a student of the Military Technology Academy, indicating that it is not necessary to address him as a senior. Zhu Tong replied that age does not matter here because those who have the power reign supreme. Yunxiang handed the injured girl over to his partner, saying that she was fine and there was no need for courtesy, indicating that he had fed her a healing pill and left her in their hands. The girl asked Yunxiang if he was a student at their Military Technology Academy. She wanted to know what grade he was from. Yunxiang responded by throwing them something incomprehensible and continued walking away, leaving them unanswered. The man caught the flask of pills that Yunxiang had thrown to them. At first he didn't realize what it was he had gotten. As he left, Yunxiang called himself Song Yunxiang, saying that he happened to pass by them, telling them to continue defending the place, and he would go on, saying that they would see him later. Yunxiang used the Star Soul formation and rushed further to fight against the monsters. The girl, sensing Yunxiang's aura, realized that he was at the peak of the yellow rank, but did not understand why he was so strong, assuming that he was hiding his true rank of perfection. Looking at Commander Zhu Tong, she asked what Yunxiang had thrown to him. The man was shocked to realize that he had gotten the soul replenishing pills. One of the warriors asked the commander what the pills were for, and why he was so surprised. The man with glasses pointed out that such pills were considered a 3-star potion that could replenish the power of the soul, and were very rare, adding that such pills were no cheaper than 50,000 Tiandao coins at auction. The guy pointed out that such a flask is a year's worth of his commander's salary, calling Yunxiang very generous. The girl was curious to know what Yunxiang was really like. She stared after him. Suddenly, the wounded girl woke up hearing the name of the guy who saved her. Meanwhile, there were massive fires in Yuanding City due to monster attacks. As Yunxiang advanced, he sent the monsters he encountered to the other side with powerful blows to their bodies. The body of one of the monsters collapsed to the ground, creating many rifts in the ground around it. He kept looking for monsters in the city that were rampaging. He rode a mechanical stallion, looking for them. An unknown old man climbed onto the monster's breathless body and began to watch as the Star Soul General hopped away from the place. The old man found the guy's battle very interesting. He also assumed that Yunxiang is at the peak stage of the yellow rank. Meanwhile, in the Military Technology Academy, the command center watched as Yunxiang masterfully dealt with the monsters. Director Shijing watched the guy curiously through the monitor in the command center, trying to realize what was going on. Xiao Yue reported that the encirclement had been going on for 34 minutes, and that the squad currently had more than half of the soldiers injured, indicating that they needed additional reinforcements. The principal asked the secretary what the situation was inside their academy. The secretary replied that the defensive team had installed deceleration arrays against the monsters, which avoided casualties among the defensive team and students. Xiao Yue said that a report came in from Guo's team in the direction of 3 o'clock, thanks to the help of a certain mysterious Star Soul General. The monsters in this direction had been completely wiped out. Director Shijing asked which mysterious Star Soul General her assistant was talking about. Xiao Yue reported that the teams in the direction of 4 and 5 o'clock had also spotted this Star Soul General on horseback, indicating that she would now display the image on the main screen. Shijing saw an unknown Star Soul General who was helping the squad fight the monsters. She noticed that this warrior was carrying a halberd and riding a mechanical horse. The woman assumed that it was Star Soul General Lubu. Xiao Yue was surprised at what the principal said, asking what Shijing knows of this Star Soul General. The principal specified that Lubu among people was the harbinger of a victory. According to the information, Lubu was the brave commander known unprecedentedly in the history of ancient civilization, and his weapon was a halberd. The secretary indicated to the director that his advancement trajectory had been calculated, informing him that he was headed for the Military Technology Academy. Shijing did not understand why Star Soul General Lubu appeared at this time, and why he was moving towards the military academy. The woman didn't understand whether he was an ally or an enemy. Meanwhile, outside the Military Technology Academy, Yunxiang realized that there were no casualties on this side of the battlefield, indicating that this was to be expected from Tiger Wing teacher Wu Bei. Yunxiang realized that his pre-prepared deceleration arrays had done the trick, and assumed that Commander Wu Bei and the others would have no problem holding out for a while longer. Yunxiang decided that in that case, it was worth taking advantage of the current chaos and getting Zhu Ci's Soul Jade. Yun Xiang ordered the red flame stallion to head toward Zhu Xi's statue. As he approached the place, Yun Xiang ordered the red flame stallion to disperse. Yun Xiang jumped off the stallion and headed toward Zhu Xi's statue. The boy found himself standing next to the statue, ready to execute the intended plan. Looking at Zhu Xi, Yun Xiang ordered the star coffin to open, after which Lu Bu's star soul general began to gradually dissipate. Yun Xiang came out of the protective capsule and was ready to take out the soul jade. Yun Xiang ordered the system to scan the statue of Zhou Sai. The system started the scanning process. The system had discovered the location of Zhou Xi's soul jade. Yun Xiang realized that the soul jade was indeed in the head of this statue. With a deft move, Yun Xiang jumped onto the statue's huge body to retrieve the soul jade. Yun Xiang applied the system of forcibly extracting Zhu Xi's soul jade. Yun Xiang kept pulling out the soul jade, indicating to him that he was climbing out. Yun Xiang managed to successfully retrieve Zhu Xi's soul jade from the statue he had climbed onto. After running up to the statue, Lu Yan saw Yun Xiang pulling out the soul jade and was very surprised because he didn't understand what was going on. Lu Yan saw a man on top of the statue, trying to figure out what was going on and why the statue was damaged, after which he noticed the guy had the soul jade of Star Soul General Zhu Xi. Yun Xiang noticed that standing below was Lu Yan, who was watching him. The transfer disciple of Lu Yan in Yun Xiang's past life was the exact moment they met. Lu Yan asked the guy who he was. The girls noticed Yun Xiang, who was peeking at them again. Realizing that this time he had called a friend, it was in his past life. The guy started to run away from the girls who noticed them. Lu Yan tried to justify himself because he didn't know Yun Xiang at that time. Earlier in his past life, Yun Xiang had given a tour to Lu Yan, who marveled at Zhu Xi's statue. Song Yun Xiang remembered that in his past life, Bei had instructed him to fight a rookie by asking He Yan to lend his general to Lu Yan. After the battle between the two guys, Lu Yan came out victorious, as Yun Xiang's soul veins were damaged. Lu Yan in the current time was not familiar with Yun Xiang, and so he asked him who he was. Yun Xiang called out his name, indicating that they had met again, but Lu Yan's retort was the same as the last life. Lu Yan thought about it, indicating that he had heard his name before and tried to remember. Without thinking long, the guy managed to remember where he had heard of Yun Xiang. Lu Yan stated that Yun Xiang is the same missing Mr. 3 Minutes. Yun Xiang asked what he was missing and quickly moved from the body of the statue behind Lu Yan's back. The rookie didn't expect such speed. Yun Xiang hit the rookie on the back of his head to disarm him. Lu Yan didn't expect this and failed to resist it. Yun Xiang apologized to Lu Yan for what he had done, but he had no other choice. According to Yun Xiang's memories, Lu Yan had disappeared in a battle at the Military Technology Academy in his past life. Then it became known that Lu Yan had become an experimental artificial host under the number 0 of the country of Myron. Hiding under the mask of 0, he had invaded Tiandu and fought on the side of the enemies. It was in Yun Xiang's past life. Yun Xiang remembered that Lu Yan was later rescued by the same group of people. Lu Yan subsequently became their comrade and eventually fell on the battlefield as a hero. Considering everything that had happened, Yun Xiang assumed that if Zhu Xi's soul jade in his past life had really been taken away by the Myron and Lu Yan's disappearance, was the result of them also capturing him. Yun Xiang remembered that the serial general of the Star Soul, Black Horn, that Zero used did indeed bear a slight resemblance to Zhu Xi's statue. The guy realized that he was depriving Lu Yan of the opportunity, and in this timeline, there would no longer be the man known as Zero. Realizing that he would be spared the pain he had to endure becoming an experimental subject in his past life, Yun Xiang did not know what he should do with the soul jade. He asked the system if it could copy this general. The system indicated that it did not have enough rights and began to analyze the soul jade. After analysis, it advised Yun Xiang to put it away in the system space to find a suitable host for it and then copy it. Yun Xiang decided to take the advice of the system and put the soul jade in the system space. After Zhu Xi was taken away, the guy decided to help teachers and students in a difficult situation by fighting against monsters. Originally, Yun Xiang did not expect at all that he would be able to acquire Lu Bu before the monster tide even began, but it would be too ostentatious to appear in front of everyone controlling him. Yun Xiang, realizing that this did not match his usual casual, modest, and reserved style, he dispelled the Star Soul General Lu Bu. According to the original plan, the Wei Yuan machine should have been enough to deal with the monsters in the academy. Realizing that the picked-up soul talisman would come in handy for Yun Xiang, he asked if the system could copy Wan's general. After analysis, the system reported that it was able to retrieve data from the star network. Yun Xiang realized that the system could only copy generals created by an ancient civilization, asking if it supported mass-produced fakes. The system told Yun Xiang that it could not figure it out. Yun Xiang used the Wei Yuan machine star soul construct. With this attire, Yun Xiang was ready to appear in front of the rest of the teachers of the Military Technology Academy. He felt nostalgic after finding surrounding himself with a Weiyuan-type general. Yunxiang noticed that in his possession was a light Sani crossbow, a round shield with the head of a beast. Noticing the Tiandu standard sword, he realized that the disciples did not have any good weapons for battle at all. Yunxiang assumed that he would do without powerful weapons this time. Looking at the passed-out Lu Yan, Yunxiang indicated for him to lie down while he rescued the rest of the people. With a powerful leap, Yunxiang went to the aid of his comrades, rushing towards them. Meanwhile, the monsters continued to push the warriors who were outnumbered. Their strength was running out. The girl tried to shield herself from the monster's attack, but it suddenly slowed down. She didn't realize what had happened. Continuing to confront the monster, the girl didn't know what was wrong, but realized that because of the slowdown, she could still survive this conflict. The girl was thrown back into the wall. The monster began to approach her. She was ready to fight him to the last. The monster screamed furiously, trying to damage the cornered girl. Many soulful shots rained down on the body of the monster, which didn't expect it. He turned around. Yunxiang said that the small arms of this era are still too weak. The monster rushed at Yunxiang, who attacked it with small arms. Yunxiang was ready for battle. With a deft move, Yunxiang managed to dodge a swift strike from the monster. Grabbing his sword, Yunxiang struck many blows at the huge body of the attacking monster. Yunxiang continued to make swift attacks on the monster that couldn't match them, and tried to close in on them. With a powerful leap, Yunxiang managed to drive his sword through the monster's armor. Yunxiang jumped off the breathless body of the monster he had sent to the other world. The girl, noticing the battle, pointed out that this guy is so strong, realizing that the savior moved better than teacher Ube. Yunxiang stated that Weiyuan's one-handed sword was very bad, suggesting that he was just tickling this monster with it while striking. Yunxiang asked the system if it could give him Lu Bu's halberd. The system gave Yunxiang the weapon he requested. Yunxiang pointed out that the battle would go much better with a halberd. The girl, seeing the guy's huge weapon, didn't understand what it was. She was shocked by what she saw. Yunxiang rushed to attack the monster that was approaching them, preparing to attack it with his halberd. With one deft swing of his weapon, the monster's body fell breathlessly to the ground. With his powerful attack, the guy managed to chop the monster into two pieces. The girl was shocked that the stranger in a second sent the monster to that world. She was shocked by such power. Yunxiang walked over to the girl and asked if the headman was all right. Yan replied that she was perfectly fine, thanking the guy for saving her. Yunxiang replied that there was nothing to thank him for, saying that he had gone to help the others. Yan didn't have time to ask the savior's name. Realizing that his voice sounded familiar, she realized that the savior had called her head elder. Later, at the Academy's defense zone near the 9 o'clock area, a turtle formation battle formation against beasts was focused on defense. One of the warriors pointed out to Yin Qin not to rush to the front of the line and return to the ranks. The warrior managed to dodge the monster's attack by using the soul energy enhancement technique. The girl tried to land crushing blows on the monster that trapped their squad up close. The second student pointed out to the teacher that the elder Yin Qin had begun to fall into a frenzy as soon as she started fighting, offering to help her. Striking a successful blow on the monster, the girl pointed out that they were moving too slowly. Yin Qin, a third-year elite class student, was satisfied that she had managed to successfully send one of the monsters to the other world. One of the monsters tried to grab the girl, who was distracted by a conflict with another monster. The student, noticing the danger, hurriedly warned Yin Qin about it. The girl jumped up and replied that the monster couldn't hit her. Yin Qin jumped ahead of the monster, thinking that her attacks had caused it to go to the other world. The monster turned out to be resilient, and with a powerful blow, made the girl fall. She didn't expect such an attack, and therefore didn't have time to dodge it. Coming to her senses and recovering from the blow, Yin Qin was ready to fight back against this monster. Wiping away the fluid, the girl pointed out that these monsters were stronger than she had realized. The students noticed that Senior Yin Qin was surrounded and grabbed by monsters. One of the monsters was intent on overwhelming the Star Soul General that Yin Qin controlled. Suddenly, Yunxiang came to her aid with a halberd in hand, preparing to strike at the attacking monster. With a deft move, the guy managed to save Yin Qin and send the monster to rest. The girl was shocked and glad that the unknown guy was able to help her in time. Yunxiang managed to skillfully deal with the rest of the monsters, sending them to the other world. Yin Qin continued to lie down and watch her savior. Yin Qin watched the battles, and realized that this guy was too incredible and attractive. The students realized that Senior Yin Qin had been saved. They didn't realize whose General Wei Yuan came to their rescue. Defensively, the guys realized that this unknown person was 100 times stronger than any teacher, sending the monsters to the other world, as if cutting vegetables. The system informed Yunxiang that he had a low level of soul power. The remaining soul power was $5%, and the construct would dissipate in 40 breaths. Hearing this information, Yunxiang realized that the halberd was a heavy weapon for the Wei Yuan machine. Yin Qin received a painful recoil from the blow. He realized she had to get up so as not to look humiliating in front of her savior. The guy tried to help her up by asking Yin Qin if she was okay, but the girl didn't expect this. Yunxiang asked Yin Qin if she could fight further. further. The girl thanked him for his concern, replying that she was fine. She was flustered by such a question from the guy. Hearing Yin Qin's soft voice, her classmate didn't understand why she was speaking as if she was another person. The teacher instructed Yun Xiang not to stay long with Yin Qin because they needed support here too. Yun Xiang rushed to the aid of the others who were trying to resist the huge number of monsters. He got right into the epicenter where the monsters were. He was ready to do battle with them. With a deft move, Yun Xiang managed to send a certain number of monsters to the other world. Yun Xiang continued to fight the monsters while helping his comrades who were defending. The teacher thanked Yun Xiang for his help and began to counterattack the monsters, ordering them to form up in a 10-position formation against the Eagle Strike monsters, ordering everyone to follow the apprentice with large weapons and clear away all monsters in their path. A 10-position battle formation against the Eagle Strike monsters was formed, grouping 5 vehicles on each of the left and right flanks to encircle and destroy an individual monster. After doing the math, the guy stated that it looked like one in their group was extra. The warriors rushed into battle against the huge monsters in the hope of victory. The guy indicated that he was an extra, asking what he should do in that case. Yin Qin instructed the extra to go with her and guard the rear. The girl made her way to the rescue, pointing out that the guy had been careful. He had not expected such a reaction. The boy didn't understand why the elder Yin Qin had become uncomfortable herself. As her voice became softer, the teacher ordered the right wing 5 to prepare to attack. The students indicated they were ready, making the attack. The teacher ordered them to send the monster to another world that had separated from the rest. The students pounced on the lone monster as ordered by their teacher. Yun Xiang realized that Wei Wan's 5 black-ranked machines were almost equal in strength to a Gourmetus species monster. The system reported that Yun Xiang's mental strength was low. He had 2% of the construct left, which would dissipate in 16 breaths, now that Yun Xiang's soul veins had been pre-restored by pills. Realizing that he didn't intend to use them against the gourmet, the combination of the halberd and the Wei Yuan machine was currently balanced. Yun Xiang realized that the armament of this machine was too weak in this era. Yun Xiang decided that when this wave of monsters was over, he would need to find ways to improve the armament of the Wei Yuan machine. He began to dream about arming the machine with Qingdong Yuan's flying sword and the heavy firepower of Alin. Yun Xiang decided that he would think about ways to strengthen it later, after finishing this monster conflict. The teacher informed them that there were 3 monsters left, instructing them not to be careless about it. Yun Xiang tried to strike the monster with his halberd, but it managed to dodge. The system alerted Yun Xiang that he had 1% soul sludge left, and the construct would dissipate in 6 breaths. There was one last monster left, and his machine would dissipate in 4 breaths. Yun Xiang decided to launch his halberd at the remaining monster for the last time. Determined, Yun Xiang followed his launched weapon at the monster. Yun Xiang stood on his halberd to finish the monster with his attack. He had 2 breaths left before dissipating. Yun Xiang managed to send the monster to the other side of the world and waited for the dissipation to happen for lack of mental strength. The students were satisfied that they had managed to handle all the monsters. The partner pointed out that this unknown guy was too strong. The system informed Yun Xiang that he had exhausted all of his soul power, and the machine construct began to dissipate. The other students noticed that Yun Xiang's general had completely dissipated, and he appeared in front of them. Seeing Yun Xiang, the students couldn't believe that it was Yun Xiang who fought so powerfully against monsters with a halberd. One of the students asked his fellow student if he knew this guy. The guy replied that Yun Xiang is a famous loser from freshman year, calling him Mr. 3 Minutes. The teacher was surprised to learn that Yun Xiang was fighting with them. Yin Qin was encouraged upon hearing the name of her savior. She felt attracted to this guy. After dispersing, Yun Xiang was weakened from such a powerful battle with monsters. The secretary along with director Shijing were shocked to realize that Yun Xiang had been helping them all along. The principal didn't believe that the one who saved her squads was this guy because everyone thought he was a loser. Xiao Yue reported to the principal that all the monsters near the 8 o'clock area had been sent to the other world, adding that 23 monsters had been destroyed by the Wei Yuan machine alone. The woman was shocked by the information she received and tried to think it all through. Shijing asked if Yun Xiang was fighting with damaged soul veins, assuming that this guy was so good at hiding his strength. Drawing an analogy with a halberd, the woman assumed that he was controlling Lubu. The woman suspected that Star Soul General Zhu Si had also fallen into his hands. According to legend, Zhu Si could change his appearance at will and confuse his enemy with various forms of illusions. Shijing assumed that this guy had become a host of Zhu Si. She didn't believe that the old man of the Song family had pushed his son into the academy in order to get hold of General Zhu Si. The principal decided to question Yun Xiang. The principal ordered Sha to check the battle situation at all positions. The assistant proceeded to carry out the order. The student pointed out to teacher Wang that Yun Xiang had scattered the construct and was going to take advantage of the break break in the battle to recover his mental strength, asking why they all wouldn't do so and recover their strength. Teacher Wang ordered all the students to get out of the general immediately. After listening to the teacher's order, everyone dispersed the designs of their machines to regain their mental strength. The teacher pointed out that there was no telling when the next wave of monsters would appear, ordering everyone to stay in their seats and regain their mental strength as soon as possible. Yunxiang was satisfied that his intended plan was working. He was able to recover his mental strength. Yunxiang heard someone talking to him. He got more cautious. Teacher Wang thanked Yunxiang for his help by asking what course he was on and what his name was. Yunxiang replied that he was a freshman in the 10th year group, then gave his name. The guys didn't believe that it was really Yunxiang. They didn't understand how a freshman could be so strong. Walking up to Yunxiang, Yinqin introduced herself to Yunxiang and thanked him for saving her. Seeing that Yinqin thanked him for saving her, he replied to the girl that it was just a coincidence. Yinqin was the host of Star Soul General Longqi. 5 years later, in the battle between Tiandu and Myron, her family betrayed her country. As a former enemy of Yunxiang, this girl had put him in danger in the past. Yunxiang realized that if luck was on her side in his past life, this girl would have sent him to the other world. Yunxiang walked up to Yinqin and suddenly grabbed her hand. Seeing this, the guys didn't understand what Yunxiang intended to do by grabbing Yinqin. Yunxiang hoped that he could get Star Soul General Longqi so easily. Meanwhile, Yinqin didn't understand what this guy wanted from her. She was flustered by such an act from Yunxiang. Yunxiang realized that this touch should be enough to copy Longqi. He decided after copying her Star Soul General to somehow get rid of this girl before it was too late. The girl thought that Yunxiang was preparing to propose to her, but her father told them to live in his house. She realized that if she had to marry because she was pregnant, her father couldn't object. The system informed Yunxiang that Longqi's copying had failed, indicating that this girl was not a host of the Star Soul General. Hearing this information, Yunxiang was shocked that Yinqin was not a host. He was sure that she was the host of Longqi, because in his past life, he had copied him into her. The system assumed that for the time being, the last wearer before Yinqin was still alive, or Longqi's soul Jade had not yet been discovered in this world and was without a master. Yunxiang remembered that Longqi's soul Jade had been obtained by the Yinqin family while exploring the Shinba secret realm, and realized that it was 10 months away from discovering this place in the present time. Yunxiang's musings were interrupted by Teacher Wang. The guy continued to hold the girl's hand. Yunxiang apologized for such rudeness on his part by asking Yinqin if she was hurt. The girl asked if the guy knew her before since he acted so excited towards her. The guys watching didn't understand why the girl was behaving so strangely, and realized that this was not the Yinqin they knew. Yunxiang replied to Yinqin that he had only glimpsed her before, and was now only a little confused after the battle. The guys knew that Yunxiang had an ulterior motive, assuming that he wanted to get close to Yinqin. Yunxiang pulled out the pills from his pocket that he had created in the alchemy room. After that, Yunxiang took one pill and ate it to restore his mental strength. Yunxiang kindly asked Yinqin to extend her hand. The girl held out her hand as the guy asked her to do. She didn't understand what Yunxiang wanted from her. She started to feel embarrassed. Yinqin asked the guy to be gentle with her and not to hurt her. Yunxiang pointed out that she misunderstood his intentions. He asked Yinqin to turn her hand palm up. The girl, not understanding the guy's intentions, did as he asked and looked at him questioningly. Yunxiang put one soul recovery pill on the girl's palm. Yinqin asked, a little upset, that he had given her a pill. The teacher was shocked that Yunxiang had given Yinqin a soul replenishment pill. After confirming that it was indeed a soul replenishing pill, Teacher Wang said that it was worth as much as his 10-month salary. Yinqin asked Yunxiang what this pill was. Yunxiang nodded positively, indicating to accept it and recover for the next battle. In his past life, Yunxiang didn't save the girl in this place, assuming that she must have some kind of trump card or great luck. Yunxiang realized that the original course of events had been disrupted by his actions, and now he must carefully watch Yinqin to make sure that she didn't run off before he got Longqi. The girl ate a mental replenishment pill. The teacher was upset that he didn't get one. After taking the pill, the girl didn't understand how it was possible that the majestic soul power was so dense and warm that it instantly filled Yinqin with strength. The girl indicated that it was like a huge wave splashed all over her body. She felt such sensations for the first time. Yinqin pointed out to Yunxiang that she had never tasted such a pill because it was better than others, indicating that it was of the highest quality. Teacher Wang informed Yunxiang that the others had also fought for a long time and had used up almost all of their mental strength, and asked if he had any more pills to share with everyone. Yunxiang apologized to the teacher, pointing out that he had very little pill left for himself. The teacher asked if he had at least one pill for him or at least half a pill. Yunxiang replied that he didn't have any pills for the teacher but had prepared something for them. The guy pulled out magic cards filled with soul energy, after which Yunxiang applied the formation to this perimeter. The students noticed that the soul power recovery rate began to happen 5 times faster. One of the guys realized it was a multiple star array of level 4 stars. The guy had never seen anything like it before. Yunxiang told them to stay and rest while he went to check on the battle arena. Yunxiang used a stellar soul builder to tell everyone he would see them again. Yinqin asked him to stop, indicating that she wanted to go with him. The girl also applied the star soul formation and followed Yunxiang with a powerful leap. Meanwhile, in the battle arena of the Military Technology Academy, Number 3 was instructed to retreat and take a breather. In the battle arena, Teacher Ubei's squad was trying to defend against the monsters. Ubei ordered Teacher Changyi to replace the number 3 position. There was only one monster left that needed to be crushed, and then they could focus on replenishing mental strength. Ubei ordered them to stand on defense, and the rest to try to attack this monster. Following the teacher's instructions, everyone proceeded to damage the huge monster. Ubei managed to land a powerful blow on the monster in one move, sending it to the other world. The teacher ordered everyone to change formation and spread their wings. Ubei noticed the artillery volley and ordered everyone to disperse. All the students hurriedly dispersed at the teacher's order, but some still got hit by the artillery. Ubei ordered a report on the situation at this place. The girl asked if everything was okay. The arena was full of smoke. Visibility was reduced. Ubei noticed that the monsters didn't come close to them after the artillery shot, and realized that the monsters had discovered that they were getting weaker in this area, so they switched to long-range attacks. One of the monsters prepared to strike at the humans from its mouth. The student informed everyone that the next volley was coming, directing everyone to defend themselves. Ubei pointed out that they couldn't fully defend themselves, ordering everyone to disperse, saying that the Weiyuan machines as shields wouldn't be able to withstand that kind of fire. Everyone noticed the rays of soulful energy beside them. They were surprised at this turn of events. A powerfully launched halberd managed to hit several monsters that were in the vicinity of the academy arena. Seeing this, the students and teachers didn't realize who could have done this. Everything in the neighborhood was covered in smoke and dust again. Yunxiang realized that he had come to the aid of this squad just in time, which he was very pleased about. The monsters began to fire their volleys at the people who were in the arena and trying to resist them. Ubei advised the assistant who had arrived to help them to get away from the place where the monsters were aiming. Yunxiang, with the halberd in his hand, managed to skillfully dodge the attack of the monsters that were aiming at him, after which, the guy immediately successfully counterstruck the monsters. Ubei noticed that the guy was constantly emitting a small amount of soul power from under his feet, and because of that, he was in a suspended state, moving as if gliding through the air. The girl noticed that the huge halberd-shaped weapon that the guy used to destroy monsters was new to the use of Weiyuan machines. Everyone was curious to know who the strongest person was who had come to their rescue. A guy asked if this stranger was using the same student general that they were using. They didn't believe it was possible to pull off such a thing on a Weiyuan general. Teacher Changyi asked who this person was, indicating that he was simply outrageously strong. Ubei replied that he was at least equal in strength to Changyi's 30 teachers. Yunxiang managed to skillfully dodge the beam the monsters were trying to hit him with. Using his mental strength, Yunxiang seemed to float through the air as if dodging multiple attacks from the monsters. The warrior didn't understand what kind of movement technique was being used, assuming that it was the secret art of the 7-step Star Trek Black Shell defense. This movement was the forgotten art of one of the 8 great generals of Tiandu, Mrs. Wu Sheng, chopping at the setting moon. Ubei couldn't believe that this guy was using all these techniques while only driving a student general. Yunxiang informed the others that there were 4 monsters left to overcome. After dealing with the 2 and striking, Yunxiang reported that there were already 2 monsters left. Changyi pointed out that this guy had single-handedly handled a dozen monsters. He decided to ask this strong man to train him so that he could also majestically fight and protect everyone. Ubei didn't hear what Changyi muttered when he asked him to repeat himself. He replied that he was just admiring the way this guy defeated the monsters. Yunxiang managed to deal with all the monsters before he used up all his mental strength. The system reported that the construct would be forcibly dispersed. Ubei pointed out that he was too strong since he was able to single-handedly deal with a dozen monsters so quickly. Suddenly, Yinqin appeared on the battlefield and asked Yunxiang to wait for her. Ubei was shocked to hear the name Yunxiang, who had just defeated a dozen monsters before her eyes. Teacher Changyi also didn't believe that it was Yunxiang. He was shocked by this turn of events. One of the students asked who Yunxiang was, which made them all so surprised. The other assumed that it was the name of the strong guy who had dealt with everyone here. Ubei walked up to the guy and asked who he really was, refusing to believe that it was Yunxiang. Yunxiang used the dispersal of the general he fought the monsters on. The warriors didn't believe this guy was just a student either. Teachers Changyi and Ubei couldn't believe their eyes and didn't understand how this was possible because Yunxiang was really fighting monsters so powerfully. Yunxiang informed Ubei that he was back. The people around him continued to not understand how Yunxiang could fight monsters like this since they knew him differently. Changyi realized that he was very close to kneeling in front of Yunxiang, and asking to become his teacher. Yunxiang greeted his teachers, indicating that it had been a long time since they had seen each other. Teacher Cheng Yi asked Yunxiang where he had been missing for the past few days and then pointed out that it wasn't important right now. The man asked Yunxiang why he had suddenly become so strong since his soul veins were damaged. Cheng Yi was sure that this student could only operate the machine for 3 minutes. Yunxiang replied that it was true, pointing out that his design had dissipated itself over time. Yunxiang realized that his time to maintain the structure had now increased by about $20%. Yunxiang assumed that his case would gradually adapt to the recovery of the soul veins. Cheng Yi pointed out that Yunxiang was a liar because he had fought in the arena against the monsters for more than 5 minutes. The man asked Ube if he had correctly noticed about their disciples' battle. Ube asked Yunxiang to explain to them everything that had happened. Teacher Cheng Yi agreed with Ube too, asking Yunxiang to explain himself. Ube asked why Yunxiang hid his strength and pretended as if he had damaged soul veins when entering the academy. Cheng Yi agreed with Ube's question. He was also curious to know why the guy hid it. The man realized that the class teacher wanted to say that Yunxiang had been hiding his strength from the beginning. Ube indicated to Yunxiang that she was grateful for his help, but asked him to explain himself to them. Yunxiang didn't know where to begin his explanation on this matter. He scratched the back of his head thoughtfully. Unexpectedly, their dialogue was interrupted by another Star Soul General who appeared in the academy arena. Yunxiang shielded himself from the fragments caused by such a powerful landing of the unknown. After landing, the man applied the dissipation of his Star Soul General design. The surrounding people realized that Principal Shijing, who was ready to have a dialogue with Yunxiang, had come up to them. Seeing the principal, everyone else also dispersed their construction. All the teachers rushed to greet the headmaster who had visited them. The woman was ready to find out from Yunxiang the whole truth about his strength. Shijing walked over to the guy, calling his name. Yunxiang stood calmly and was ready to talk to the academy principal. Yunxiang greeted the principal, preparing to have an explanatory conversation with her. First of all, on behalf of the students and staff of the academy, Shijing thanked Yunxiang for his timely help, adding that she wanted to hear an explanation for the fact that he was hiding his strength. Yunxiang knew that the principal must be a member of one of the established families of Tiandu City. He didn't know whether she was an enemy or a friend. Yunxiang asked where he should start his explanation. Unexpectedly, Shijing used a technique to isolate their surroundings so that the others wouldn't hear what they were talking about. Yunxiang realized that no noise could be heard from outside. After realizing that it was a soundproof formation, Yunxiang realized that this woman had installed 2 layers of Soul Force films here. By reprogramming the formation of the Military Technology Academy's defense of the city, the air was blocked by 2 layers of Soul Force films. Yunxiang asked that if a question regarding his power violated his personal privacy, could he avoid giving an explanation to the academy? Shijing replied that she didn't have time to beat around the bush, suggesting that he get straight to the point. The woman pointed out that the Military Technology Academy had no right to interfere in his personal life. As she approached, one added that if it was Star Soul General Zhou Si. Yunxiang realized that the woman had gotten too close because her main weapon had almost hit him. Principal Shijing revealed her speculation that the boy had purposely pretended to be weak with damaged soul veins to take advantage of the family's influence to infiltrate the academy to get Zhou Si's soul jade. Yunxiang replied that he didn't know what she was talking about, although he understood that Zhou Si's soul jade was indeed in his hands right now. Shijing ordered him to stop pretending, pointing out that he had already become the host of Zhou Si and the Red Lubu who had appeared in the Jiang area, adding that Zhou Si had been disguised using his unique ability. Yunxiang was shocked by Shijing's statement. He didn't know that Zhou Si had this ability because he didn't have a copy of Zhou Si in his past life. The director continued to dialogue in a vacuumed area. Everyone was curious to know what they were talking about. The students didn't understand what Principal Shijing was talking to Yunxiang about. The other one replied that he was jealous of this guy, pointing out that Principal Shijing was very beautiful and would also like to chat with her. Yunxiang managed to get past Shijing's barrier to overhear their conversation. She didn't understand how the woman managed to create such a complicated soundproof formation. The girl was surprised to hear about the speculation that the guy was a host of Zhou Si. Director Shijing said she saw images of Red Lubu, adding that Yunxiang was seen at the scene. Shijing pointed out that according to the documents of the Tiando Kingdom, Zhou Si could not only take the form of other generals, but also imitate their abilities and movements. The woman noted that it was unlikely that anyone could raise 3 small levels in just 3 days, concluding that the illusion of level perfection that he was now demonstrating was proof that Yunxiang was a Zhou Si host. Teacher Cheng Yi was shocked that this guy was a Zhou Si host. He couldn't believe that he still thought he was a loser. Hearing Principal Shijing's reasoning, he almost believed it himself. He had not originally planned to hide the existence of the Star-Lord system from others. A guy who got a master system system in a strange place in his past life. Yunxiang realized that this system still hides a lot of secrets, so he decided to explore that place again. After finishing it all, Yunxiang decided not to tell Shijing about the Star-Lord system, deciding to play along with the woman's reasoning and pretend that he really was a Zosi host, deciding that his soul jade would stay in his system space for the time being. Yunxiang replied to director Shijing that although he tried to hide everything carefully, he pointed out that the woman saw right through him. Yunxiang informed all the teachers that Principal Shijing's reason was correct, confessing that he had indeed obtained Zosi's soul jade. The principal didn't expect the guy to recognize it so quickly, pointing out that Yunxiang's father was able to find out in advance that he was compatible with Zosi's soul jade. The woman pointed out that this was why Yunxiang's father had arranged for him to attend the Academy of Military Technology, so that he could steal the jade if possible. Shijing pointed out that human calculations are never perfect, thinking that she had figured out Yunxiang's plan. Shijing pointed out that, because of the sudden wave of monsters, Yunxiang had to unleash his power to save others. The woman was sure that if not for this problem, Yunxiang had quietly graduated from the academy and revived their family with the help of General Zhu Si. Hearing all the principal's speculations, teacher Cheng Yi realized that this guy had to reveal himself to save them. Realizing that he was good and righteous, Yunxiang realized that he would have to agree with all of Shijing's reasoning, and pointed out that the guy should know the differences between an elite star soul general and mass-produced machines. Shijing said that such a transfer of soul jade should be recorded in the Star Sky Control Archive, saying that because of this, the Song family could be suspected of treason and planning a rebellion. Yunxiang pointed out to Principal Shijing that his father had not planned anything like that. He tried to further justify himself. The principal, Shijing, was unwilling to listen to Yunxiang's excuses and offered Yunxiang to make a deal with her. Yunxiang tried to understand what Director Shijing meant by making a deal. The woman indicated that these rifts were most likely all artificially induced, reporting that 3 locations of induction device cores were found. She revealed that in the core area in the Dongcheng district, she had already dispatched a celestial-ranked expert and would personally lead the Academy Elite and City Guards herself and take control of the area. Hearing this information, Yunxiang asked the principal what she wanted the guy to do. The woman replied that she wanted him to head to the core area in the Besheng district to completely suppress the rift core and save a very important person. Yunxiang assumed that the person the principal wants to save is not ordinary at all. Yunxiang asked who he should save. Shijing replied that this person is a member of the royal family, the second prince of Tiandu, Tianhe. Yunxiang remembered that in his past life, the prince was the base of the war adherence faction. There were rumors that Tianhai was obsessed with conflict and asked to preemptively start a war with Myron. In the past, this prince died during the tide of monsters in the city of Yuanding, and Umbrella wanted Tiandu investigated just because of this case, thinking that the handler was from the Quiet Abyss. Yunxiang remembered that Umbrella had not been saved by him in the past, realizing that she must have a card that helped her get out of this mess. Realizing that Umbrella couldn't have handled the second prince, the woman asked for help to save His Highness the second prince, saying that she would send a request to the Star Sky to be made the legal host of Star Soul General Zhu Si. The boy pointed out to the headmaster that she was overestimating his powers. He suggested that there should be guards with the prince, indicating that he would have to pay a heavy price to save him. The principal promised the guy that if he successfully completed this case, she would try to fulfill one of his requests, within the limits of her authority as a director. Yunxiang was surprised that the woman agreed so easily. Yunxiang realized that the Shijing family supports the Crown Prince's faction, and in order not to reveal their secret relationship, Shijing sends Yunxiang to help the prince. Yunxiang agreed to the woman's deal. The core of the rift was in the Besheng area. Yunxiang wondered if he would meet his beloved Umbrella there. He decided to use the soul replenishment pill to fulfill the deal and protect the prince from the monsters that climbed out through the rifts of space. Yunxiang ordered the system to recreate him a red flame stallion so that he could quickly manage to get to his desired location. Yunxiang used the formation of the Star Soul General, preparing to go under the instructions of Headmistress Shijing. Yunxiang was able to successfully create the Star Soul General he needed, Lubu riding the red flame stallion. Seeing what was happening, the students didn't understand what kind of Star Soul General appeared in front of them. They were shocked by his beauty and grandeur. Cheng Yi asked why this powerful appearance was not at all like the statue of Star Soul General Zhu Si. The principal replied that it was the appearance of Star Soul General Lubu, which was different in color from the original, suggesting that the color change was due to Zhu Si's illusion. Yunxiang accepted the coordinates of Besheng District's location and was ready to set off. Yinxin asked Yunxiang to wait for her because she wanted this guy to be her husband no matter what. Yunxiang asked her to get off the stallion because she would overload him. The girl laughed sweetly and didn't want to leave her lover. Yunxiang remembered that the Yinchin family supported the second prince's faction and decided to take Yinchin with him, asking the girl to hold on tight. The girl was very happy that her lover decided to take her along. Her eyes were full of love for this guy. With the powerful leap of a stallion, these two rushed towards the set point to fulfill headmistress Shijing's request. The woman silently watched as Yunxiang galloped off to fulfill her request, hoping that he would succeed. Teacher Changyi asked the principal why this student followed along with Yunxiang, asking if she would be alright. The man didn't know what kind of girl she was. Shijing replied to the man that they had no time to worry about this girl, ordering him to hurry up and gather the members of all his squads, informing him that they would be leaving for Nanju to the core of the rift in 4 hours. The teachers obediently obeyed their principal's order and were ready to proceed. The woman began to doubt that Yunxiang was a Zusi host, assuming that her words would help him deceive other people, and Shijing said that the rest of the guy's secrets she herself will reveal. And that's the end of this episode. Like and subscribe for the next part.